huge cup last Sunday down at Lord's, and can you believe the keeper had short sleeves? Short sleeves, Dave. Gilchrist. Oh, there's a shout for that one as it struck him on the pad. Mind having a look at that one again. Umpire not interested.
Just a word, if you're listening in the ground, a reminder. I didn't do it at lunch. I had guests this morning and forgot to mention it, but all this week in the library, the back of the Batman board there, go into the ticket office in the library. They're asking for your help. The club has come back to it in a second. Is Gilchrist going to bowl?
Runs in, bowls, and that one is just played out into the covers by Verena. No run.
The club is asking for a little bit of help. Obviously, they get a lot of items donated through the course of the year, and they very much appreciate everything. But they've got a number of cricket club ties that they're unidentifiable. Presumably, they've all got stumps or bats or CC on or something. Just like your help in identifying those. They've got a number of photographs, a number of autographs, and that sort of thing. You might just be able to help identify some of them.
Booth to Verena. He just tries to defend that one outside the off stump, but goes through to the keeper. Good ball from Gilchrist.
Should like said it yesterday. If anybody does go across and can just send a photograph, just so we can see, so we can have a look, Mel.
I'm not very good on tie identification, I've got to admit, but
I like a nice cricket tie, though.
I could identify your jacket anywhere, I reckon.
Coat of many colours.
Just two. As in his Gilchrist, it's a good bounce, but Verena's done really well to get on top of that. He's just fenced it out in through the covers, found a gap, and got 2 runs. So he moves on to 4. Yes, it is a magnificent jacket. Yours, the thick green and gold. Is it green and gold? Are they the official name? Because sometimes, you know, there's those sort of egg and bacony things. I don't know if that's egg and spinach or something of that ilk.
What is the Australian? Is it canary yellow?
Yeah, it is canary yellow. But yes, we say green and gold. As in comes Gilchrist. That's whipped away by Verena. Through mid-wicket, beats a dive from the fielder, and that is the first boundary for Verena. He's been very patient, stuck in there, and gets the 4 runs. So that finishes off the over from Gilchrist, with Notts closing in on that 200. They are 195 for 4, Hamid on 104, and Verena now on 8.
There used to be some comedy tapes years ago. I can't remember where there's somebody pretending to be Max Walker in the commentary box and somebody meant to be Bill Lorry, and
this will be Billy Birmingham, won't it?
That's it.
Oh,
that's it.
Yes. 12th man.
That's it.
There are elements of it that don't necessarily stand the scrutiny of a modern audience.
No, but there was always an argument about if it was green and gold or canary yellow, my friend.
It's Michael Booth to bowl to Hasib Hamid, who pushes forward, reaching for that a little bit. Not cleanly fielded by Booth on his follow-through. His arms are just a bit too short, if the truth be known, as he demonstrates on his walk back. But those particular comedy tapes, Bill Lorry had something of an unhealthy obsession with pigeons.
That's right, yeah, keeping pigeons. Yeah.
And they had a pitch cam that they dug into the middle of the surface. Yeah, he was good, but not entirely politically correct. Full delivery coming forward is Hamid to defend it into the offside.
It was a thing at the time, wasn't it? Taking your car keys out there and sticking the car keys in the wicket. That was very much Tony Gregg.
Tony Gregg. He was famous for it, and he had the that special. What did they call it? The little bit of the little bit of equipment he had that showed the weather and the wind.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I can't remember what it was called.
And sort of the whole idea of Richie Benno being the captain of the team. And that's got up a bit at Hamid. That was a sharp bounce. He does well to fend it down in front of him. Helps to have been there for 61 overs to be able to play that delivery, I think, in fairness.
He can be quite sharp, Booth, can't he?
Yes, the Benno character never wanted Max Walker to get on air. He was constantly pleading to get another chance.
That was it.
For the, and they bring in rugby league commentators. They give him a go at the cricket.
Must be.
There was
very
one
good.
with Ray Rabbits Warren.
That's it. Someone's left alone outside Austin. It was brilliant stuff.
It must be 20. Well, I mean, it was the age of the tape cassette, wasn't it? I had some on tape cassette, so that's how long ago it was.
Yeah, one of my colleagues lent it me on a CD, and now that sounds like distant technology as well, doesn't it?
Ollie Sargent, Dave, can you give Mel a nudge and tell her that Boston's also a town in Lincolnshire? Jonathan, to make orange
fair
chips,
point.
you need orange food colour to mix with the batter before covering the chips, then pour them in your deep fat fryer.
Oh,
There
that
you
sounds
go.
gross. Oh, revolting.
This one just back of a length, defended by Hamid into the leg side. Well, no, not revolting. This is the point. Otherwise, people wouldn't eat them.
Peter Shaw, Dave, can you tell Mel that Boston equals Bonza? It's as simple as that, really.
That's
Bonza.
good. Now that is a good comparison. Yeah.
Mandy, come on, the green and golds, carry on like this. Sensible batting, getting closer.
Boo then to complete his 13th over. Hamid is driving immaculately through the covers for 4. 108 to Hamid, 199 for 4. That was as pretty as a picture.
Yeah, it was. He just snapped into position, didn't he? Held the pose.
Tor has sent an album cover by Boston Steve Austin called the Fuzzbox. There's an LP there.
Oh, well,
Boston Steve Austin.
No, Fuzzbox was the band, wasn't it?
Oh, right.
I think
it was the other way around,
I think
was it?
Boston
Okay.
Steve Austin is the... wasn't Fuzzbox the full name of the band? We've got a Fuzzbox and we're going to use it.
I don't
Something
know.
like that, yeah.
I really don't know.
Yeah. 199 for 4.
This is all so confusing
Yes.
for me.
One of many things I don't know. Boston Steve Austin.
Oh, we were chatting about Australian culture last night, to be fair. Chris Lilly, we were talking about in his comedy series.
Yeah, we
We were, weren't we?
over our real ale at the place we found. Here's Gilchrist. First ball is just wristily whipped into the covers by Verena, but there's protection there. 2 slips in still for Verena. It's actually quite unusual for me to hear an Englishman admit that Australia might have culture. Don't hear that very often.
No, you have. It's just not necessarily your own.
Here's Gilchrist over the wicket, and Verena lets that one whistle past the outside of the pegs.
I think for me, the thing that sums up the incongruity of Australian life is how great big macho rugby league players shave their legs. I think it's just magnificent. It's
practical.
I'm sure it is. It's not there just to display the muscles. It's not vanity, no. Great sport, though.
Here comes Gilchrist over the wicket. It's turned through mid-wicket by Verena, but Taz Ali is stationed there for the single.
So the biggest display of being a modern man is if you play Aussie rules football and you wear sleeves.
Yeah, short shorts and no
Yeah.
sleeves. That's the Aussie rules way. Those codes coming to an end at the moment in Australia as it makes way for the cricket season. It's Gilchrist is in. That's right up in the block hole. Well played by Verena. Out into the covers. No run.
Yeah, the grand finals for both those sports is usually October, aren't they? Just
Yep.
into October.
Start of October.
So it's a big moment of the sporting calendar, isn't it?
Huge. And cricket, I know that the One Day Cup is being played at the moment. It was at Allan Border Field in Brisbane. It's moved to Adelaide now, and they do struggle. Fans in Australia are very much it's this season or that. As Gilchrist in, left alone by Verena. Yes, it's very hard for cricket to get any traction. I know people here look with envy at the national coverage and free-to-air coverage that cricket gets in Australia, but it is a really small window where they actually can get their headlines and dominate.
Yeah.
Because as soon as February comes along, start of February, it all then tends to be pre-season football,
Yeah.
whichever code. As Gilchrist bowls, a full delivery, jammed up to mid-off by Verena, no run.
So the two major networks who do the NRL, the Rugby League, for those who aren't so familiar with it, I think both do a brilliant job of it. But whenever they do a live post-match interview, the excitement is waiting to see what sort of language is going to be used. The amount of swearing that happens in primetime sports coverage in Australia is somewhere off the chart.
Yeah, we're an uncouth bunch.
And that passive-aggressive way of starting sentences with "look."
Oh, yeah? Oh, look. It's oh, look. Oh, look.
You feel like you've been put in your place.
Oh, look.
199 for 4 Nottinghamshire, 101 runs away from the county championship title as things stand. Michael Booth starts new over, very full outside off stump, left alone by Hamid.
Shot through quite low too, didn't come up much.
It was very full though, wasn't it? I mean, I think it was probably Yorker length, and if you're that full it tends not to get much bounce. I love the energy of Booth because he qualifies as a domestic player next season, which is going to be a real boon for the Bears.
I think they're building a very interesting squad.
Forward to push it through point comes Hamid, and that brings up the 200 for Nottinghamshire. If they add another 100 runs without being bowled out today, they will be county champions by the close, and certainly they're on a course to do that. And Hamid has led from the front, the captain. He's on 109 now.
Yeah, it's been a superb innings yet again, and quite fitting. I think that it's Hasib Hamid who is out there scoring the big runs. What a season that has been brilliant for him.
It's not been an easy 100 either, as Verena plays off the back foot into the follow-through of Booth, who picks up. He was twice nicked through towards Rob Yates at second slip in the morning session. Each time it just dropped short. So there were one or two moments. There were plays and misses. There were bound to be. You know, it's a sporting surface that's been prepared for this. It would have been really easy for Notts to try and produce one of these belters that 600 all, plenty of points on the board, get a draw, win the title. But they've got a surface where you can play a game of cricket. As Verena is driving beautifully through the covers for 4. He has timed that quite brilliantly.
He didn't even watch the ball go over the rope. It was so nonchalant. Absolutely glorious drive. And as soon as he played it, he didn't hold the post. He just turned around and walked away. You look, if you're watching on the stream, there it's off. Ball hasn't even crossed the rope, and he's just going for a little wander.
He made it look businesslike, and yet there was a little look on his face of satisfaction, and as well they might be. Booth just over pitching and search for this 5th wicket. Now he just hurries for rain a bit. The one ball that's, I'm not saying it's jagged back, but it's angled into him. He's had to jab down on that because he is sharp pace-wise, Booth. Both these bowlers in the attack now, he and Gilchrist are. Gilchrist, for me, looks a really good pickup for the next 3 years. He's on loan, but the loan started having already agreed a deal to move up from Kent. And you can see the potential in Gilchrist. He hasn't taken a wicket today, but has bowled well.
And then, of course, Ethan Bamber has moved up from Middlesex as well.
This one back of a length, guided off the inner half of the bat to Malik at mid-wicket, end of the over, 204 for 4.
And you sort of feel, for a while now, it's felt for Warwickshire that they keep going to the well, and it is a deep well, that is Oliver Hannon Dolby. And it's been the one again and again, so consistent. And for me, it feels like at this point in his career, he should be able to come in at first change and sort of move the ball about a little bit, do what he does best, without having to lead the attack and be, the spearhead. And they're starting to put together a bowling attack that I think gives them more all-round options.
I mean, Bamber has become the spearhead of that attack this year. And I'm sure that was exactly what he's recruited for. Chris Rushworth has not really got on the pitch much, but he's going to be part bowling coach next year.
Gilchrist in, good bounce, but Hamid deals with it well, just punches it out to deep cover point, and they'll take a single. And Alex Davies is just going for a bit of a jog. Who's he talking to out there in the floppy hat?
Booth.
It's Okay, it is Booth out there.
Yeah.
So
Might be a tactic. I wonder whether, because they do occasionally, whether they might get Booth bowl a few half trackers in his next over, if he's going to bowl another over in this session. We've got just over 10 minutes now till we reach the tea interval.
They're 2 over, by the way, on the over rate.
Yeah.
So it just chewed up a bit more time. Gilchrist in, drilled up to mid-off, no run. Yeah, just so that was interesting. Mid-over to go and have a chat with Booth, who's out there fielding at deep backward square leg.
The over rate's been quite palatable today, considering the majority of the bowling has been done by Seaman. It's been only about 10 or 11 overs of spin, isn't it, between Taz Ali and Rob Yates.
In comes Gilchrist. Oh, that's a play and a miss. Good ball. He has been really good. I like the cut of his jib, Gilchrist.
Yeah, first up he hit that length a few times and beat the bat. On another day he might have had 3 or 4. And that again, you're playing on a surface where the bowlers are always in the game, and it's not easy to get started.
Yeah. Well, I mentioned that earlier, that the batters who have got some runs, whether it's Slater, Hamid, Clark, and now Verena, it's taken them a while to get going. Gilchrist in, that's clipped away to Ethan Booth down at deep backward square leg. Get the 1 run.
There's a Centurion in Division 1.
Oh?
Tall Paul Walter.
Tall Paul.
He's 100 not out for Essex, 159 without loss. They trail Somerset by 274 runs. Essex looking over their shoulder at the relegation scrap. Need to make sure they go well, but they're scoring at a very good rate as well at 4.5 and over. Looking to put those bonus points on the board.
In comes Gilchrist. It's short. It's pulled firmly and has picked out the gap. That's a fantastic shot by Hamid. There are 2 fielders out there on the leg side. Boundary rope. Neither of them could get there because of the precision placement. And that takes Hamid to 114. What an innings this has been from the skipper. Notts now 210 for 4. Partnership of 31. And 64.5 overs bowled. They're looking quite good for some bonus points. And that one at 300 is the one that counts. Here comes Gilchrist. Has turned down to Taz Ali at deep mid-wicket. They'll get another 1 to add to the tally.
Verena looks like he might need either new gloves, or whether he's slightly got something sore. Or is he going to... Taking the gloves, that was just it. During the tea interval, those of you listening on Sports Extra, we will be across to another ground to see what's going on, because you've got the relegation battle. Yorkshire against Durham is right at the heart of that. And Yorkshire replying well, 171 for 2, trail Durham by 175. And Mayank Agarwal is 91 not out. Significant innings that for Yorkshire. And then Sports Extra will be back here for the resumption at 10 to 4 in the session that we could see this year's Rothesay County Championship Division 1 champions crowned effectively.
Interesting, so I was waiting to see what might happen with Booth, but he's not bowling this over. It's going to be Rob Yates, so bit of off spin.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they'll be conscious about the 15 overs from the new ball. Notts trail by 47. There is still a game on here, and if Warwickshire can not allow Notts too much of a lead, there's a proper cricket match to also be resolved. So Yates coming on to bowl his 6th over, and the first ball is defended by Hamid. Should be 2 overs left in the session. Rob Yates got through this quickly. They might squeeze in a 3rd, but I don't think they'll necessarily be in a massive hurry to do that. So Yates is in. Hamid comes down the wicket and launches him straight. Will it go all of the way? It does. And Hamid really demonstrated what we were saying about him earlier, that he now has this ability to go through the gears a lot more than he did during his international days back at Lancashire when he was a young man. He's to 121 now, 217 for 4, and that was executed with the minimum of fuss.
Yeah, it really was. He's waited for the ball. 17 boundaries he's scored, but that is his first 6. He's picked his moment, he's picked his bowler, and he might go after Yates a little bit here.
Mid-on drops back to long-on. A few other boundary fielders there, so as you do, after hitting a 6, having danced down the wicket, he just reaches forward and defends. Shows his chest, which is covered in dirt after he dived at the feet of Carl Verena as he got his 100th run. And Verena still had a run to take to make that 100th run. And the Bears did miss an opportunity to get rid of the South African wicketkeeper with a rather errant, extraordinarily high throw, actually. Loopy throw. This is floated up. Oh, and is he caught or is he dropped at slip or did he not get anything on it? They all look at each other.
Wow.
The slip fielder has ended up at leg slip, having tried to capture it. That's Will Young who's there. Was that a chance? Did he not hit it? Did it come off Alex Davis? I'm not seeing a replay of it. This is turned by Hamid towards deep square leg for a single. 218 for 4.
Just waiting to see if we get a replay, but might do at the end of this over. Not much time between the spinner bowling his balls.
The reaction was not one of mischance necessarily, but it was curious, wasn't it? It must have hit something on the way through. Verena with the inner half of his bat miscues that towards Zen Malik at short mid-wicket. 7 off the over, 218 for 4.
Here we go.
And we are going to see a replay. Those of you who've got Trent Bridge live in very slow motion. Rob Yates comes in. Oh, it is a drop chance. It is a drop chance. Well, that's frustrating for Warwickshire. They've given Hamid a life there. That's what it looked like at first sight. Just the reaction was a bit curious.
Well, there wasn't. Sometimes, like, you'll even get a reaction from the crowd or the players or and it was just silence.
Great choice of replay angle there, by the way.
Yeah,
by,
well done, team.
Kirsty and the team.
Time for a new over from Gilchrist. Over the wicket, bangs it in. Just a slightly fuller delivery. Played by Hamid out into the offside, no run.
And, you know, the game situation would have been very interesting if it was 218 for 5. It would have been 217 for 5 at the time, wouldn't it, I think? But, yeah, that's a frustration for the Bears. You work hard for these openings.
Gilchrist in and bowls. Defended straight back to the bowler. He picks it up with his right hand on his follow-through.
Of course, Notts with that strength in depth with Lyndon James and Liam Patterson-White still to come. Patterson-White who top scored at the Oval last week, didn't he?
Yeah, they're 40 runs short of Warwickshire's first innings total. You keep having to bring yourself back to look at the game situation because we've been so conscious of the championship situation. Hamid waits as in comes Gilchrist. He's bowled him! He knocks middle stump out of the ground. And Hamid's fine innings comes to an end on 122. He has been absolutely magnificent, put his side in a very strong position, and a few of the Warwickshire players just giving him a pat on the back as he makes his way off. Many of the fans here at Trent Bridge rising to their feet to usher their skipper off the field with a very warm round of applause and appreciation. And with that, it will be tea as well. Wicket falling. Gilchrist, well, it's some reward for him because he has bowled incredibly well. Hamid departs on 122. He's been out there for 258 minutes and faced 211 balls out there. So at tea time, Notts 218 for 4, so they are 80 for 5, sorry. They are 82 runs away if they can get it within 110 overs from claiming the championship. And Verena is still out there on 13. He wants to be the man to get to that magic 300. We shall see. But all in all, well, it's not been a bad session for either side, you would say.
No, exactly. The match situation for this particular match is quite interesting. Notts 40 runs behind with 5 wickets standing. The championship situation, they know they can clinch today by getting to 300. They need 82. There'll still be 37 overs plus to bowl, 37 and a half overs to bowl in the evening session if the light permits, and it did yesterday. We got to the end, albeit I'm not sure we maybe should have get through those last 3 overs, but run rate wise they will get there. It's just a case now of making sure they don't tantalisingly come short and have to wait another day longer to seal the title. But good effort in the afternoon session, particularly by Bamber and Gilchrist. I think they both bowled very well and deserved the wickets that they took. So we will be back in just under 20 minutes time with your coverage here on Sport Extra and on Trent Bridge Live. The match situation, Nottinghamshire 218 for 5. They trail Warwickshire by 40.
We are Virtu. We have over many years built a nationwide network of local dealerships with a choice of amazing cars from the world's leading manufacturers, all cared for by our highly skilled technicians. For customers who continue to praise us to friends and family alike. Because we are Virtu.
with the players returning to the field for the final session on day 2 of this Rothesay Division 1 County Championship match between Nottinghamshire and Warwickshire. Notts losing a wicket in the final over before tea, so off they trooped. It was a big wicket as well. Hamid, the captain, out for 122. Kyle Verena, the Nottinghamshire wicket-keeper batter, will resume on 13 not out. I'm assuming that Lyndon James will be there with him. Yes, here he comes. Lyndon James coming in with Nottinghamshire then 32 runs away from a first batting point for reaching 250, and obviously 82 away from what is one of their major goals of the day: get to 300, get that second batting bonus point secured. And that would mean that Nottinghamshire, bar something extraordinary, i.e. losing points for a poor over 8, which of course they won't allow to happen, or don't see anything wrong with the pitch, but it seems as if 300 and it will be job done in terms of the county championship. Still a match to be won here. Really important for Warwickshire, really important for Nottinghamshire, so the match will go on. This is only day 2 of 4. Warwickshire made 258, Notts are 40 behind at 218 for 5. Ethan Bamber with 3 of the wickets for the Bears, and it is Lyndon James out there. We are part-way through an over, half-way through the 67th over, so that second new ball's not too far away, and we saw what happened yesterday when Notts took the second new ball. I'm Dave Bracegirdle. We'll have Kevin Howells and Richard Wilford with us in the fullness of time. Melinda Farrell away just a little bit to my right to conclude this over.
Yes, Nathan Gilchrist picking up, bowls to Lyndon James, who defends that up to Zen Malik, short cover. Yeah, what a terrific ball that was from Gilchrist, and some reward for Gilchrist as well in getting that wicket of Hamid, because he is toiled away and has bowled really well without necessarily getting the rewards.
That drop of Hamid the previous over off the bowling of Rob Yates proved not to be too costly, just one more run added to his individual total.
Gilchrist starts his run up, he's in past the umpire, bowls, and on his toes James pushes that one out in front of point. No run. Definitely, I think this is filling up a little bit more as well. A few more people coming in.
I was there. £7 to come in at lunch, tea rather. £7 at tea.
It's you and Rich you've been advertising.
Well, why not?
More people that watch the cricket, the better.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Gilchrist in again over the wicket. James gets in behind that one, and that concludes the over. A wicket maiden to Gilchrist. Terrific stuff for him. The over completed either side of the tea break, and actually signalling the tea break when he got the wicket of Hamid.
Yeah, new man Lyndon James. This isn't bad for a fella that comes in at 780 runs at 48.75 this season, 2 centuries, 250s, best of 203 not out. That stands on its own as very, very respectable. Then throw in as well 24 wickets, 2 5-wicket hauls this season. Best of 5 average? For 22, 34. It's coming down.
But that's great, isn't it? Yeah. 48 with the bat, 34 with the ball. It's the right way round.
Yeah, fourth seamer.
Fourth seamer and lower middle order.
High, he's got a double century,
yep.
You know, undefeated, 203. Yeah.
Rob Yates to continue, floats this up, driven, dives to his right to field and keeps Verena on strike. Good stop. Yeah, he's become an outstanding all-rounder, and I think teams that win the championship, genuinely you will need 1 or 2 proper all-rounders, and sometimes a wicket-keeper can count. I think it does here, really. This one keeps a bit low, but off the back foot, Verena is able to steer it towards wide, long on. Fielder comes in and keeps them down to a single. Sam Hain coming in, 219 for 5.
Like the field, it's a mixture of having 2 or 3 round the bat and the rest protecting the boundaries in outfield.
13 overs to the new ball. They want to still have Notts with work to do when that new ball comes.
Now, Alex Davies just ran out and had a chat with Gilchrist.
First time James faces Yates, comes forward and defends back down the wicket. Last time he went out of his way mid-over to have a word with the bowler, he was telling him he was pulling him out of the attack.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he will be this time. Although if Gilchrist's going to take the new ball, he's going to have a rest as well. One more maybe might be the shout. This one turns past the pads of James, but did grip a little bit of that from Yates. There is something there for the off-spinner.
Leg slip and a short leg around the bat.
Not bad as an off-spinner, Rob Yates. He showed more control today than Taz Ali, who's the leg spinner. Now he's coming down the wicket to slap this through the offside is James. Diving stop out in the deep. And they'll just get the single, 220 for 5.
Booth out there. He says so he wears a floppy hat. Who else has got the floppy?
Hain, down here, down below us.
Yes. It's always very useful when you have just a couple who wear a floppy.
And Sam Hain's got Sam Hain's shoulders and gait, which I've been watching since he was 17, 18. So I usually pick him out in the crowd. Yates in to complete the over. Oh, I thought he was going to try and play a reverse or something there, and then Varena's hit it straight at Malik at short leg. It bounces off him. The oohs and ahs, he nearly got himself into a spot of bother there, Carl Verena.
He got himself into an unusual position, didn't he? And almost turned his body halfway around in trying to hit that one.
A couple more people have taken the trouble to get in touch. Thank you very much. Wyatt and Thierry, the Bears' rapid loss of 5 wickets last night could be a pivotal factor in the game. Not long until the second new ball, which could play a role in this innings. Connor George Notts just need to bat sensibly after tea. 2 batting points feels totally doable from here. Thank you, folks.
I love the fact the first one is concentrating on the match rather than the championship. It's an interesting take.
That's a Warwickshire. Well, it's a Warwickshire supporter.
Gilchrist in. That's played late down towards backward point, and I'll take a run.
Now, the light ought to stay good to get through the overs today, you would think. But the number of overs left in the day, we're probably looking at slightly earlier finish, about 20 past 6. And Warwickshire certainly felt the last 2 or 3 overs shouldn't have been bowled yesterday evening, and we felt a bit that way as well. It was the floodlights had taken over from the daylight. We haven't needed the floodlights today.
Yeah, they're definitely the shadows splaying out. In comes Gilchrist. That is beautifully clipped through mid-wicket. There's 2 fielders after it. Oh, and there's some fancy footwork. Is that out on the rope? And I think that has actually prevented the ball from touching it. It was just a little boot in the way. Is that
Taz Ali
out there? Yep.
And again, there was that ooh of it nearly went for 4, but this time without the chance of 4, which was, I think, fairly comedic in that instance with 40.
Well, he did enough. He did enough to save 2 runs. Taz Ali. Still the 2 slips in as Gilchrist comes running in. Bowls to Verena, who just leans back, slaps that through the covers. That's a lovely shot from Verena. He gets another boundary. No stopping that one. He's on a bit of a roll now, Verena. Took his sweet time getting started and showed a lot of patience, but he's now 20. Very determined. He wants to hit the winning runs. He's the man who hit the winning runs in the World Test Championship for South Africa when they beat Australia at Lord's earlier this summer.
Beat who, Mel?
They beat Australia. Hey, I was very happy to see it as well. Don't worry about that. I enjoyed seeing South Africa win that one. It's Gilchrist bowls. That's clipped through mid-wicket again, and the chase is on. Taz Ali, it's got more work to do. It'll just be the single, though.
Gilchrist's been a little bit betwixt and between with his length in this over.
He's just checking his the soles of his feet at the moment, having a look at his spikes.
I apologise, I'm tapping your phone just to check the time so I know when
Are you trying to look at my DMs?
No, I'm not trying to look at your DMs. I literally wanted to see the time.
You know, there is a clock on the bottom left of the Batman board.
Okay, no, I'm noticing that now as well.
Here is Gilchrist bowling to James, and it was leapt up on him a bit, and he took his bottom hand off the bat rather quickly as the ball made its way into the covers.
I mean, the odd thing is I've got a watch on, but I don't entirely trust it.
No.
In that, due to a broken strap, I didn't have a watch for 9 months, and so you get quite kind of used to it.
I haven't had a watch for years.
I like it. A little bit of.
Mine just stopped working in the middle of the season. I haven't bothered since.
Gilchrist bowls to James, who defends that one up to mid-off, no run, and that'll finish off the over from Gilchrist. A little bit of a mixed bag, a few runs coming from it, mostly off the bat of Kyle Verreynne, who has taken over the senior role in this partnership at the moment. Notts 228 for 5, still motoring along nicely, going at a rate of 3.3 and over. 35 overs remaining in the day. And,
I'm going to say I think they are contemplating floodlights soon, because it is actually now getting a little bit gloomy compared to how it has been, and it didn't get much darker than this before we had the floodlights on yesterday. So
we've got a lot of blue sky above us, but somewhere out of our sight there's obviously a cloud that is just obscuring the sun at the moment.
But that sort of time of day where the light does get a bit wishy-washy, doesn't it? It's, Rob Yates will continue, clip towards short mid-wicket, picked up there by, is it Mosley in that position, and there's no run. None for 19 from his 7 overs and a bit, and exactly the repeat. Verreynne again picks out short mid-wicket.
They've lost the leg slip for Verreynne. They did have they've just still got the slip and the short leg in.
It is an in-outfield. There's a single through covers if he wants it. That one was a much quicker ball from Yates, faster and straighter, almost a Dan Mosley style medium pacer. I can't call Dan a spin bowler. Although increasingly he's trying to get a bit of turn. This is clipped again straight at the feet of Zen Malik and bounces off him.
Did he say it's Mosley at mid-wicket? Because he's just been whirling his arms around as if he's...
He's always doing it. He'll be doing that as much to get their attention as anything else. Always keen to have a bowl.
He might fancy a bowl, but Notts might fancy him having a bowl. Getting a bit brighter again now. And this is turned to the right of Mosley. He picks up one-handed and there's no run.
Yeah, sun just coming out. I do think Rob Yates has bowled really nicely.
Won't need the floodlights now, it's gorgeous again.
No.
But the difference is extraordinary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, must have been a dark cloud in front of the sun.
And the final ball of the over turns past the pads of Verreynne. First maiden for Rob Yates. Nottinghamshire 228 for 5, 10 overs till the new ball, 34 overs left in the day, 72 runs to be declared champions.
Yeah, my watch stopped mid-season and I took it to the jewellers and said, sick as a battery in this. And he tried all sorts of different batteries and said, no, it's not the battery, it's broken, Dave. I said, well, can you fix it? And he said, well, to be perfectly honest, it'd cost you more than the watch is worth. So that was a sort of a damning indictment of my lovely watch. And I sort of haven't bothered ever since.
I genuinely, I reckon... I can't remember when I last owned a watch, but I reckon it was probably 15 years ago, 20 years ago. I don't think I've had one... I don't know. Ever since I had a smartphone.
I still have one, but it hasn't worked for 4 months. We've got a bowling change. It'll be Ed Barnard. Do you want to do this one? Then I'll take Richard's end, bearing in mind we may be interrupted by BBC Radio Nottingham in the next minute or two. But
I'll start it off.
Get us going.
I'll get us going. Barnard, it's his 12th over. For 39 so far. He's running in now, bowls to James, who drives that nicely. It's through the covers, but there is protection on the rope, so they'll just get the single. Brings Verreynne on to strike. 229 for 5. It has been, what a year it's been for Kyle Verreynne. Really.
As much as all his story, well, I enjoyed all his stories this morning, but being in the dressing room when, well, he said he was out in the middle with him, didn't he? With Vian Mulder. said he was miffed because he was 42 not out when the declaration came.
Here comes Barnard, and Verena just whips the bat through this one fine down the leg side, and that is another boundary. He's sticking them off.
If you weren't with us, you may remember earlier in the year South Africa were playing Zimbabwe, and Vian Mulder was South Africa's skipper, and he declared at lunch on 367 not out, very much in sight of Laura's World Test record of 400, and we asked him about that, and he said, well, I was miffed because I was 42 not out batting at the other end. I wanted a 50.
Yeah, fair dues as well. Yeah, it's been a wonderful year for South African cricket. He's out there now, Verena, as in comes Barnard, and just solidly defends that one up to mid-off, no run.
Liam Patterson-White doing next at 8, Brett Hutton at 9, and then Dylan Pennington and Mo Abbas to bring up the rear. 9 overs away from the second new ball. So Notts have got a little bit of work to do. They'd like this pair to stick around for an hour.
Certainly would. Verena on strike. In comes, well, Barnard, and he's almost got the edge. He can't have been far away from that one, Verena, as the ball rushes past him and just goes and settles himself. He's been really patient.
Here is that update for radio. Nottinghamshire currently 233 for 5. They lost their captain Asiba Mead just before tea for 122. We've just started again. Remember, if Notts get to 300, they will be county champions. They trail Warwickshire by 25 at 233 for 5.
Next ball was just defended by Verena, so he hasn't added anything to the score there on 25 now. As in comes Barnard, and he just plays that late, strokes it into the covers. Then Malik runs across and keeps it to the 1 run. It's the end of Barnard's first over, back into the attack. And Notts 234 for 5 with Verena on 26 and James on 3.
Bowlers have got to adjust quite dramatically here, haven't they? If there's a succession of singles, one you'd say is about 5-6 and the other one 6-6.
There's definitely a distinct height difference, a little bit like when you see Ben Duckett and Zach Crawley batting together for England.
Going to be Rob Yates to continue. His last over was a maiden, 8 overs, none for 19. The rest of his figures. We're bowling to Verena. He's now on 26.
He was dispatched by 4-6 by Hasib Hamid earlier on. And when you look at that, none for 19 off 8 overs, and you think that 6 of them came from 1 shot. So he's around the wicket to Verena, who wristily tries to whip that through the leg side. It doesn't get too far though. Their leg slip is back, so they've lost the short leg and they've got a slip and a leg slip in for Verena. So yeah, it's around the wicket again, and he flays that out into the offside, and mid-off runs across to keep it to 1 run.
Notts 15 away from the first batting point, 23 behind the Bears.
Leg slip moves to short leg now. So different plans for the 2 batters. And long on comes back into the ring. Next ball by Yates is just played out into the covers. And they come through for that single. So just looking to see if they move again. Yep, short leg has gone back to leg slip, and mid-on moves back to the fence. Yates bowls full, and it's played straight down past the bowler by Verena. Picked up by mid-off. I'll get a single.
Just rotating the strike nicely in this over, aren't they? 3 singles in the last 3 balls.
I mean, they're giving short leg / leg slip, mid on, long on at work to do. Next ball's just defended, rolls back down the pitch to Yates. Just moving those chess pieces around. Now we've got mid on moving back about 3/4 of the way back. Here is Yates, and that's just pushed out to deep cover by James, and they take another single to finish the over. So doing a good job of just rotating the strike, this pair. Knots 238 for 5. James on 5, Verena on 28. Partnership now is 20. Coming off 33 balls, so going at a decent rate. 32 overs remaining in the day.
Yes, ideally this pair can take it up to the 80th over, so a settled pairing.
It would be amazing. I don't want to preempt anything, but if Kyle Verena does hit the winning runs after sitting up here and telling us that that's what he really wanted to do and that's what he was going to do, I'd tip my hat to him.
Still 62 runs needed before Notts get to that point. Here's Barnard into bowl to Lyndon James, who off the back foot eases it into the offside for another single. Thought they'd knocked off for the day down at the pavilion end, but that might just actually be the last act, because the crane has just been raised. There's nothing on the hook at the bottom right now. Might just have put it to bed.
Do you think when they designed the Batman scoreboard that they thought it would actually be called? Was it meant to, was Batman the inspiration?
I wouldn't have thought so, no. I don't know for certain as Verena chops this to backward point. There's no run. Sam Hain doing the fielding. 239 for 5. No, I wouldn't have thought so. As they were building it, they wouldn't have thought, well, somebody goes and sits over there in the Radcliffe Road stand and has a bit of a look at this.
The thing I really like about this ground, I like all the old-fashioned cartoons everywhere. Everything's done in that old-world cartoon style.
This ball squares Verena up a little bit, pushes it into the offside, no run. Cartoon style? What do you mean?
All the signage. You know how it's got the old gentleman with the curly moustache.
Yes, I'm with you now.
And the hands that point the way.
Yeah.
Instead of having an arrow, they've got a cartoon drawing, like a pencil drawing of a hand, and it's all. I really like that about this ground, and I forget that it exists until I come back here and see the signage. I like it.
Next ball is pushed back to the bowler by Ed Barnard. Yeah, I sometimes forget to appreciate just what a wonderful ground it is, and all the little nuances like that. It was like last week. Don't go to the Oval very often, but you can start waxing lyrical and very much getting excited about the concourses at the Oval, as I was last week, because it can take forever to do a lap of the Oval because there's just so much to read. It's terrific. Next ball is hit again back to the bowler. They really know how to honour their former players, and all the achievements. There's just so many lovely photos and things to read about days gone by and the former stars of the club. Do you know what I mean with the Oval?
Yeah, I do. I see that. I was actually looking at some of the ones at Lord's as well when I was there on Sunday.
Verena on 28. Bamber bowls to him and turned to leg by Barnard, I beg your pardon, bowls to him and turned to leg by Verena. No run, end of the 73rd over. Ed Barnard's put in a shift as well today with the ball. 13 overs, 2 maidens, none for 46. Notts trail by 19 at 239 for 5.
Yeah, I think that's great. Some of the grounds do it really well, where they celebrate the history and make sure that people understand all of the things that have gone before, very much in the present and wanting to achieve in the future. But each club has its own unique history.
Yes, Edgbaston, of course, another one we should mention. Very welcoming, lovely museum there. Phil Britt, our good friend Phil Britt, Looks after the museum there, all the artefacts and memorabilia, and many an anecdote has been told in that museum, many of them by Richard Wilford.
Oh, I don't know about anecdotes. I like the way now, if you're under the pavilion in the walkway there at Edgbaston, they've got sort of a timeline with lots of pictures and stuff written about the history of the club, which is good to see. It's Rob Yates continuing, advancing down the wicket comes James, but in the end plays the ball in defence.
You can tell it's getting chillier because he's not taken his sweater off for this over.
Oh well, it's getting nippy.
Yeah.
So you just told Mel that she's going to disappear and put another 2 layers on. Oh, what a big swing from James. It's a rather diagonal bat, that. And he's a bit lucky they didn't chop that onto his stumps. Rob Yates has provided a useful little spell here.
Yes.
She's running out of charge. That was the sad truth, is Mel. She got the jump leads out. James down the wicket now, pushes the ball into the vacant area and the covers in the offside. Rob Yates will trot across just to recover the ball, but a comfortable single for the all-rounder. He's to 7, 240 for 5. These two have added 22 since the tea interval. 6.5 overs till the new ball. Warwickshire trying to get there without too much damage. See if they can put some pressure on. Their lead down to 18. And now Verena will just nudge the ball in front of square for a single of his own. 241 for 5. We're at that point where every single push gets a warm round of applause from a good crowd. I'm going to say, away to our right, the crowd has got smaller because they've realised that's the one place you're going to freeze. So Yates bowls off the back foot, pushed again into the vacant cover area for a single by James. 242 for 5. Is it Fox Road? Is that what it's called over on that side?
Yeah.
On Fox Road side, it's really getting quite busy now, and just to the left of the pavilion, down below us, loads of people in the stands, and you can tell there's this great murmur. It's Nottinghamshire supporters wanting to see this little piece of history 15 years on from the last title. But such an occasion. As Yates bowls, and that was a little bit too full to cut, and Verena is relieved that he doesn't get himself into trouble there. Gilchrist does the fielding. End of the over, 242 for 5. Well, we will, when you get close, we're gonna just watch you broadcast, Dave. We're gonna let you come off your long run, because you cover a county as long as you have. These moments are emotional.
Gas and air.
I remember when Liam Norwell bowled that extraordinary spell and took the 9 for against Hampshire on the final day of the season. What proved to be the final meaningful day of his career, sadly, because of injury. So it's such a shame for Liam, who's a great guy. But after that finish, I'm just sat there for 10 minutes. You need to collect yourself. It was. You go through every emotion.
Incredible cricket. It's Barnard in to Lyndon James. He blocks this one. Elsewhere around the country, Chelmsford, Somerset made 433. Essex 195 without loss. Tall Paul's past 3 figures. Dean Elgar's on his way with him. Elgar's 72 not out in that one at Southampton. Surrey, second time round, 115 for 4, so they lead by 14 as Barnard bowls. Nice looking shot from Lyndon James, partially stopped at mid-wicket, and they'll take another single, which is warmly appreciated by the crowd. 243 for 5 at New Road, Worcester. Worcestershire second innings, 169 for 3 against Sussex, still trail by 58. And at Headingley, Yorkshire 203 for 3. Durham made 346. Focused during the latter part of the week. May well shift firmly to that one. That's Barnard to Verena. Nice bit of timing in and through the offside from Verena, and that'll go for 4. And there is the response again from the not supporters. Lovely shot from Verena. He goes to 33, 247 for 5. Division 2, Lancashire 365 for 7 at Cardiff. Glamorgan made 265. Kent 49 without loss at home to Derbyshire, who racked up 698 for 6 before declaring. Middlesex also over 600, 634 for 9 declared. Gloucestershire 76 without loss, and Northants 189 all out. Leicestershire made 429 all out. Barnard in again to the South African keeper, who Guides this away on the offside for another warmly appreciated single, 248 for 5.
So, effectively, Glamorgan and Leicestershire have safely put their pound coins on the side of the pool table, and Yorkshire and Durham are going to end up with winner stays on. So that's where it is. That's where it looks like it's going, because Essex are batting so well against Somerset. Bonus points for them are crucial, and they're hurtling along at well over 4 and over.
Lyndon James reasonably fresh at the crease, and he's nicked this one behind. Davis has got another catch, his 4th of the day. A little tilt in this match. Still a game to be won here. Notts 248 for 6, and Lyndon James gets one that just took off from a length from Ed Barnard, who gets a well-deserved first wicket. And Lyndon James for 9 has nicked this through. Lyndon caught by Alex Davis from the bowling of Ed Barnard for 9 at the crease for 28 minutes, faced 21 balls, 248 for 6, Notts still trail by 10.
They've stuck at it all day, these Bears seamers. They've actually got good support in the last half hour, 45 minutes from Rob Yates, who's holding at one end with his off spin. And reward for Barnett just back of a length and sticking through, and Alex Davis doing the business. And with the new ball not that far away, there is an opportunity for them to limit Notts. Well, limit Notts' lead in terms of this match, and the Bears have got a good record on this ground in recent years. But 52 runs needed for the championship with 4 wickets. Now, look, they're probably still going to win the championship, but it makes it all that little bit more intriguing.
Yeah.
Well. It certainly does. And I tell you, I'm not going to put it out there, but they're still short of the magical 300.
After the hour and a quarter that he was in the box earlier, if he scores the 300th run, I'm expecting him to wave up here.
Yeah. So am I.
Here comes Liam Patterson-White. This season 470 runs at an average of 31.3, best of 135. So he's no slouch with the bat either.
Warwick have played some really good cricket. They'll be cursing themselves that they actually lost those wickets in the evening session last night, because they could have put themselves in a much stronger position.
Another 40 or 50 runs in this game.
Yeah. Could go for a lot, but their bowlers have really stuck with it.
Barnard going round the wicket, first ball to the left-hander, who pushes it back to him. Successful over, first wicket of the innings for Ed Barnard, 14 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 52. Notts 248 for 6, trailing by 10, 2 runs away from the first batting point. Crikey me, Brett Hutton, Dylan Pennington, Mo Abbas left in the hutch. Second new ball, 5 overs away potentially. Do you think he'll take it?
Like a shot.
Yeah.
we saw what happened with the second new ball yesterday.
Yeah, easiest prediction to make, I think, in this innings.
There are 2 things you've asked me today, Dave, that I've been 100% certain about. That was the second one. The first one was the question from one of the Notts supporters as to whether Hassim Hamid should be on the England Lions tour. Yeah. That was an easy yes as well. Yeah.
Rob Yates over the wicket, first ball to Verena, is defended back down the pitch. Kevin Howells has come in, and he's a very, very business-like manner.
Yes. Well, business-like, but with a baseball cap. I mean, there's 2 things going on there.
Yates in again. This time Verena's on the back foot defending towards mid-wicket. And Mosley stops it with his foot before sending it back to Yates. He starts off again. Bowls. Flatter delivery on leg stump, and Verena just uses the angle, turns it around the corner, and they'll take a single.
Part of Kevin's latest communique was just to steer me towards the Hampshire-Surrey score, where Surrey now 120 for 5 in their second innings. Oh. So they lead Hampshire by 19, but 5 down.
It's quite a young tail.
Yeah.
And that's that game.
Burns, Sibley, Patel, Folkes and Sykes have all gone. Dan Lawrence is still there with the tail.
He's had a poor run in of late, Dan Lawrence, for such a talented player, but can he dig him out of that hole?
Yates is coming around the wicket to the left-handed Patterson White, who drives quite pleasantly as well. And now just get a single, but the applause that you can hear is for the 250 coming up for Notts, and that is 1 batting bonus point. They are now just 1 point away from securing the championship. 50 runs away if they can get it in 110 overs. We're now at 75.4. Very doable. It's Verena on strike now. So Yates comes over the wicket and he's on the back foot again. Just flicks it up to Mosley, mid-wicket.
You can tell how many people must be in this stand, because that round of applause was almost like an international game. It was properly rotund. If you know, the sound was rounded. It was Well,
I just love the fact that everyone is just so keenly aware of the situation. They've just brought deep backward square leg up into the ring as Yates bowls a flatter delivery, but it's punched by Verena to Mosley at mid-wicket. No runs. A couple of singles coming from that one. Notts now 250 for 6. That batting bonus point safely in the bag. Verena on 35 and Patterson White on 1. We've had 76 overs bowled, so 4 overs now to the new ball. 34 overs remaining to get any batting bonus points.
Sheffield Outlaw, not far off Notts' 4th championship title in my lifetime. It'll be the first for my son Joe. Wonderful for him. He's such a devoted Notts follower. He is indeed, the Sheffield Outlaw and Joe. Always here when they can be. Start of a new over from Barnard round the wicket to Patterson White. He says he's such a devoted Notts supporter, particularly in the county championship. Hope we get over the line. Kevin Marriott, guys, will the match last long enough for me to see some action tomorrow? Because I'm driving up from Cornwall first thing in the morning. It's a long old trek, isn't it?
Will the match last night? I mean, it would have to be a pretty extraordinary session, this.
I think you'll see some cricket tomorrow, Kevin.
It's a good day tomorrow.
Barnard to LPW, Liam Patterson White. Morgan, any more news on the Haynes dismissal? Looked like a poor decision. Well, there won't be. There's no press releases, Morgan, on dismissals, and you know, if you saw it or heard it, you'll know the viewpoint we had in the box. I think the 2 Notts guys, Freddie McCann and Ben Slater, could tell that Jack Haynes was a little more than disappointed to be given out. This is pushed back towards the bowler, runs up to mid-off.
It's funny, it looked properly out in the next box. That's funny, isn't it?
Well, you get some, you don't get some. That's the way it goes, isn't it?
Yeah, there were a couple yesterday. There were a couple every day, aren't there?
Yeah.
And I don't think Alex Davis was thrilled with his yesterday, but we thought it looked out. So
I was just really impressed by Kyle Verena's talking about the umpiring today. I thought that was really nice to hear, and acknowledging the difficulty of the job.
250 for 6. Barnard to Patterson White. He'll get a run here, easing it into the offside. Doubles his tally from 1 to 2. Was capped yesterday morning. Said he had no idea, and then all of a sudden, family and friends appeared. There was McNeil holding 3 caps, and Bota, spin bowling coach, has spent such a long time working with Liam. Said some lovely words about him and his career so far, and handed over the cap.
What lovely moments those.
Barnard in his 15th over. Verena's on 35. Goes to drive this through the offside. He'll get another run. 252 for 6. That's 48 more needed, but more pressing news is that 3 overs and 1 ball now. We'll see them facing a new hard cherry and a fired up opening duo of who do we think?
It'll be Bamber and Gilchrist, I would think. I mean, could be Booth, but Warwickshire will try and use the game situation to their favour with the new ball.
Patterson White on strike. Barnard round the wicket, and this is just stroked elegantly up to wideish mid-off. And there's no run, and that ends the 77th over. 252 for 6. 25 past 4. We've still got 27 overs remaining. We'll just have to see if the light holds as to how much or how many of those we get in.
Well, what fluffy white clouds have been hanging around today have actually disappeared somewhat. There's not too many of them now, and it is meant to be nice and sunny for the rest of the afternoon. I just had a look for the first time in a while at the forecast for tomorrow, and it's saying on the BBC app, it's saying 0% chance of rain. Might be a bit of cloud around, but I know I'm not supposed to pay any attention.
No. It said 0% chance of rain yesterday on the BBC radio, and it was raining.
Yeah.
And we lost 10 overs yesterday with 0% chance.
That's crazy, isn't it? Well, all I can say is the forecast is
very good. Rob Yates to bowl his 12th over, none for 28 at the moment, and that one got a full delivery, and Verena plays it late, just defends it. 252 for 6.
David Taylor says he just hopes that Verena gets the 300th run just to see his celebrations. Little way off yet, David.
As he pushes the ball back down the wicket, he was wanting to drive that as he walked through the shot, but he doesn't time it, and it bobbles back to Rob Yates once more, who has done very much what Alex Davis wanted him to do in this session. Just get through some overs relatively inexpensively. Now he's going to be launched towards square leg, and he's found the gap very nicely there, and it's just cleared the rope for 6. Perrine just waited on that one. I saw it about 10-15 minutes ago. He was looking to line up that sort of shot and got it wrong. He certainly got it right this time. He goes to 42, 258 for 6 knots. 42 runs away from a title.
a second 6 coming off the bowling of Yates, who's been so tidy. Only the second 6 of the innings as well. First one came from Hamid.
Dave getting excited because the scores are level.
Yeah.
That was okay. 258 for 6. Pushed forward and fumbled in his follow-through by Yates to another single. 259 for 6. Alex Davis was talking last night about the fact that you don't like to be at somebody else's party necessarily. They would do everything they could. But Notts have gone about their business in the right way on a surface where you've got to earn the right to play your cricket. I mean, Carl Ferrain now is getting on with it, but early on he had to be very watchful.
Yeah.
The first 11 runs took him 30 odd balls. Patterson White now driving up towards mid-on. There won't be no run this time.
Yeah, I can remember Yorkshire coming here and winning the county title at Trent Bridge, which wasn't a great feeling. I can remember Notts being at Durham, one of the years that they won the title.
Yates floats this up, driven into the ground by Patterson White, fielded by Yates in his follow-through. 2 overs till the new ball. Notts 259 for 6. They lead by 1. Sam Hain is going to vacate the field by the look of it temporarily.
Carl Verena in his 40s now, telling us about how he wasn't happy about V.R. Mulder declaring in Zimbabwe earlier this year, when that left him stranded in the 40s.
Kai Smith is on as the 12th man for the Bears. Captain and vice-captain having a chat at the far end. And we're going to see a change of bowler here, or a change of plan. Ed Barnard's put his cap back on. Looks like Dan Mosley's going to have an over.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is fun.
It's an interesting option.
Just as likely to get a wicket as anybody else.
They're feeling that just it's worth a little bit of a change up with that new ball around the corner.
He'll bowl sunglasses on it. They're quite square lenses on Dan Mosley's sunglasses. Are they back in?
Well, I mean, I think everything's in, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yes, there's a big lot of variation in sunglass design these days.
Was it last season I had your sunglasses for 4 months?
Yeah, it was.
Carry them everywhere in my rucksack in case I bumped into you.
Yeah, I was glad to get them back.
They were your favourites.
They were my favourites.
You've lost them now, haven't you?
I don't know if I've got the same ones. Right, Dan Mosley, this could be a bit of fun. He's going to bowl to Verena. Just to slip in close as Mosley's over the wicket, and it's full on the first ball, just defended back to the bowler. Carl Verena maybe just a having a little sighter of Moseley and his unique style of bowling. He's in again and just clips this one up to long on. They will get the single. Every single being applauded warmly now by this crowd.
Is it applauded to the level that you're looking for what the landmark is?
Yes.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
Every single, it really is. They're appreciating everything. I know you always say, I've never heard a crowd called anything but knowledgeable, but certainly this crowd here today knows what this is all about, knows what's at stake. They're just bringing in a short extra cover as in comes Moseley, and on the back foot Patterson White pushes it out to the fielder who's just come into that short extra cover position. That's Yates there, is it? Slip in a short leg as well now as Moseley round the wicket, and popped up slightly in the air from Patterson White, but straight in front of him.
Well, he's a reasonably tall man, Dan Moseley, quite a high release. And he isn't bowling at the pace he does in a T20 when it's like javelin throwing.
He's in once more. That is quicker, that one, and it's flayed away. Beats Yates. Short extra cover, and that's a boundary. First one for Patterson White, and if you thought they were clapping the singles, they love a boundary here at Trent Bridge today.
But you see, when he bowls it quicker like that, it almost forces the batter to play an attacking shot because it's full, and your natural instinct is to drive through the ball. So, yeah, he almost forced Patterson White into that shot, and he executed it terrifically.
Here he is once more, Moseley in, and that's just flayed out towards the deep cover boundary where a fielder waits, and a little productive over 4 knots. They move on to 265 for 6. 6 runs coming from that over. Patterson White now on 7, Verena on 44 and 79. So we've got 1 over until the new ball. Yates is going to bowl it.
More and more photographers have arrived on the ground today, and
there's Philip Brown.
obviously keen to get the snaps, get the shot.
But he's already trained on the changing rooms because he.
I saw Gareth Copley here as well. I think they're just the glory hunters, aren't they? Come in for the day. I did the last one. I'll do this one as well then. I'm doubling up.
I can do it. It's Rob Yates to bowl what will probably be the final over of his spell. I think he's bowled. This will be 8 in a row that he's bowled from this end into Patterson White. He's making room to cut it into the offside, but he hits the left hand, or at least one of the fingers of the left hand of Dan Moseley. He looks at it quizzically to make sure everything's where it should be. Patterson White feels he's missed out a bit there, a ball that pitched short.
Might be at the end of his spell now, Moseley, of course.
Oh, I think pat on the back. That's a spell, Dan. Well bowled. Yep. There's a bit of a chat between wicketkeeper and Slip that delayed this second ball, tossed up towards leg stump. They'll take a quick single here, the throw to the striker's end, but it's been beaten home by Verena. The throw from Barnard, 266 for 6.
He is quick between the wickets, Verena. Although he was very slow to start when Hamid went herring off for a single to get his 100.
Well, I don't know if they were just having a little bit of a pop at his expense, but Freddie McCann and Ben Slater reckon he's the slowest runner in the team. That's what they said while they were in here, but they might just have been having a little bit of a pop at him.
They ran that single for Hamid's 100 as if they were doing a relay. Don't go until I get into the crease. Dive full length. And off you go. Yates, he's dragged that one down. It was a quicker delivery, which is slammed up towards Kai Smith, the substitute. Long on, another single, 267 for 6. 33 runs away from sealing a title. I mean, once they've got that point, the only way they're not going to get the title is to lose it by bowling very slowly, which I don't think it's going to happen, by having a tragically bad over rate. No, I don't think that will happen. That would be... and Surrey would have rather a lot of work to do against Hampshire as well. Yates floats this one up, defended on the stretch by Patterson White.
Sorry, at the moment, 136 for 5. They lead Hampshire by 35, so they need to lose 5 wickets, and Hampshire need to knock the runs off. This is likely to be done here.
Pushed into the offside for a single by Patterson White. Another warm round of applause. 268 for 6.
In terms of reaching the 300 before all those things happen at Southampton.
Yeah, we'll see whether they settle it the quick way, or whether they might need a little bit longer.
Of course, we could go off for bad light here at 299 for...
I don't think there's any sign of that, to be fair. The final ball of the 80th over. There's a short mid-wicket in place now, and Frame does hit it straight towards him, but it had bounced a couple of times before it ricocheted off the body of Zen Malik. So, after the 80 overs with that ball, Nottinghamshire are 268 for 6. We will expect that the new ball will be taken, and it's Ethan Bamber, I think, who's stepping forward and taking off his sweater. And this will be fascinating next 10-15 minutes in this game here. See if Notts can work the new ball around towards their total. Sometimes the scoring rate will speed up in these situations.
Well, yesterday it was 8 for 4, wasn't it, or something? Taking of the second new ball, 250 for 6, and then there were 258 all out.
It is a reasonably long tail for Warwickshire. Gilchrist, I think, is warming up to take the new ball from this end after Ethan Bamber delivers from the pavilion end. Just before we have this new ball, by the way, just a quick word for a former Bear, because Chris Wright's playing his final championship game this week for Leicestershire, and he took 3 wickets in Northants' first innings of 189 all out, 3 for 19 in his final appearance. I think it's like 22 professional seasons, Chris Wright.
He's had a good career, hasn't he?
So wish him well in his retirement.
Essex Bears, Leicestershire.
Yeah, I think briefly at the start, Middlesex as well.
Crikey. Yeah, been a very, very good player.
Really kicked on at Warwickshire. Graham Welsh had a feeling about him that they could bring the best out of him, and for a while that new ball pairing of Wright and Barker was very, very effective. But new ball now in the hand of Ethan Bamber.
268 for 6. Liam Patterson White on strike, 2 slips, and the first ball is pushed into the offside. Again, emergency services vehicles passing the ground, the klaxons and the blue lights as they go past. Yeah, there was an astonishing 50 over game 3 or 4 years ago at Leicester. I think Chris Wright got 7 wickets for the Foxes, and Brett Hutton got 7 wickets for the Outlaws. Extraordinary spell of bowling from them both. Round the wicket now comes Bamber, and almost squeezed between his legs. A little bit Nat Sivabrunti there from Patterson White. Gets a single down to Gilchrist. Wasn't meant to go there, but they all count, as they say. 269 for 6.
She's made 100 today in England's warm-up game.
Has she?
Against India. Is it India? I think it's India they're warming up against today. Well, Nat Sivabrunti's made 100. 14 aside, I think it is. It's one of those games, but retired out.
It's nice to keep the hand in, isn't it?
The old nutmeg.
Starts on
Love it when she played that.
Starts on the 30th, whenever the 30th is. It's not too long away.
There's not many people get a shot named after them, is there?
269 for 6. Verena's on 45. New ball has been taken. Is running along the strap line on the Batman board as Verena mistimes this into the offside. 269 for 6.
It's only 2, isn't it? There's a dill scoop. The nutmeg.
Back in the 1750s, Jeremiah square cut.
Well, it was Donny's helicopter, and
Yeah,
I know we don't,
don't call it
and
that.
Peterson's flamingo.
Yeah, but you don't really, you don't call it the Peterson
no, you
or
don't,
the Donny.
You don't, but if you said who was the first to sort of get nationally recognised for playing one or the other, as this is pushed into the offside, they'd certainly be the 2 names that would spring to mind for me.
Yeah, but I wouldn't use their name in
No?
shot. Nutmeg and dill scoop.
I think so.
I was just trying to engage in a little bit of
yes.
something to
No,
last
you're
through the
right,
overmel.
You're more than welcome to, but you're wrong.
As always. I can't think of any others. Dear listener, please help me out. If there's any more. 269 for 6. Tilakaratne Dilshan. His name's not been mentioned on here for a while, as this is nudged up to mid-on for a single. For a dot ball, I beg your pardon. Denied the single. 269 for 6.
Again, we're seeing that patience from Verena. We saw him scoring more freely against the old ball, but as the situation has changed now, Bamber coming back into the attack with the new ball, he's just taking his time to get himself settled again.
Yeah, with shadows lengthening as well. So the light suggests it's still very good, the light at the moment, really good, but...
Verena on strike. Lovely shot again, but can't pierce or penetrate that offside. End of the over, 269 for 6. The Trevor Bailey block. There you are.
Okay.
From a different era.
Is that Trevor Barnacle Bailey?
I mean, Dermot Reeve, could he, if he'd been allowed to carry on doing it without a change to the laws, he might have actually become famous having a non-shot named after him. Because he went through that phase of playing spinners by dropping the bat, so he could pad up without the risk of it going up onto his bat. And those who make the laws of the game decided that needed outlawing pretty quickly.
Which was that? Sorry,
Dermot Reeves' shot where he dropped the bat so that he could pad up to spinners without it touching.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just throw the bat to the floor.
Steve Battlemuch. I'm still listening from Seville, Dave. Sevilla. Flying back tomorrow, so I hope it continues through to Saturday. I get the chance to come down to see the champions. And the Belper Red. Are we on the brink yet, Dave? So he's maybe in Spain.
First ball of Gilchrist's over is punched through the covers by Patterson White. Lovely shot, and that is a boundary ball, just coming onto the bat nicely and leaving it just as nicely.
All timing. Just got into a lovely position and managed to find the gap and hasn't had to overhit it. That's the shot of a man in a bit of form, confident after his performance last week. That's a lovely shot. 27 more needed. Yeah, the answer was yes, they're on the brink, Dave.
Yeah.
Patterson White taps his bat and waits as in comes Gilchrist, is on the leg stump and he whips that away through square leg. Back-to-back boundaries now. And Patterson White is enjoying this new ball. Things just motoring along all of a sudden. And Knott's now 277 for 6. Just 23 runs away from securing a county championship in 2025. The countdown is on. As Gilchrist starts his run up, lengthening shadows. He's in bowls, and that's slapped away by Patterson White. Well, keep going. He says 3 and 3. That one makes its way to the fridge. And that might be where they're putting the champagne on ice. It's getting closer.
Don't need any ice over there. That's another great shot from him. Just playing the shot on length and trusting himself, puts his hands through the ball quickly, Patterson White. Another player who's matured tremendously as part of this Nottinghamshire side that are 19 runs away from securing their first title in 15 years.
Well, it's getting closer and closer, and you can feel that energy in the crowd now. There's a real buzz as it gets closer. Well, it's been 3 and 3. What does Patterson White do next? As Gilchrist is in, it's a full ball, and that is absolutely shot into the outfield. But it's fielded just in front of the deep point boundary. But that doesn't matter to the crowd. Every single run at the moment, it might just be a single, but it's getting them closer to that county championship title. Knott's now 282 for 6. Patterson White has got a runner ball 23, and it's now Carl Verena on strike.
Yeah, 13 from the first 4 balls in this over.
Good stop that by Bamber, but
Yeah.
you know, I think these two know that for comfort they need to get Knott's really close before there's any you know what I mean, because there is a little bit of an interesting 9-10 jack potentially. They're just checking on his I think probably a little bit of a sticker on his bat is sticking up or something. They weren't doing that measuring thing or anything like that would worry you not.
Well, here comes Gilchrist to Verena, who just defends that out to point for a dot ball. Some lovely shots played there by Patterson White. Has just really injected some urgency, it seems, into this innings. They'd love, I'm sure they would love to just get that 300 out of the way, and then they can just enjoy and concentrate purely on this game. 18 runs short. Here is Gilchrist. Bangs that one in short, and that one is slammed away by Verena through the covers. He's not the tallest man, but he was up on his toes, and he swung with all his might on that one. It's another boundary. 4 boundaries coming from that over, and now they are just 14 runs away. Notts 286 for 6. Patterson White on 23, and Verena now on 49. Is he going to be? Is he going to be out there? I tell you what, if he is, he has manifested it. He was here this morning talking to us on commentary for an hour, and he told us he really wanted to be out there to hit the winning runs as he did in the World Test Championship final against Australia at Lords.
Do you know what? I think we should sit and watch Dave.
No, you're all
there.
right.
No, Dave. No.
Messy over that one.
No, you've waited 15 years.
Yep.
So these next 14 runs are for you to get with Carl Verena.
Patterson White's on strike on 23. Ethan Bamber round the wicket bowls. Nice solid connection straight up to mid-off. And there's no run. Surrey at the moment 147 for 5, so they lead Hampshire by 46 down at the utility bowl.
I mean, I'm not saying we won't chip in. And we're not just going to watch it, but we want you to. You lead us through this description there, because this ground is so full of anticipation, the excitement with every run that's scored, just the drama of the county championship season again.
Comes Bamber, passed on by Saggers. This one's wide enough to leave alone. We're about 10 to 5, aren't we? I think this morning we had a little bit of a sweep out in the corridor. One or two of the stewards. What do you think? I said 10 past 5. 10 past 5. I'd settle for that.
Yeah, but see, for full disclosure,
I'd settle for that.
When the three of us in here were discussing it yesterday, we did go for tomorrow morning. You'll still be the closest, I think, because you went the earliest tomorrow morning. You split the difference, Mel.
Bamber bowls, nice looking shot again from Patterson White. He's playing in the V here, just alternating between mid-off and mid-on. Can't get a run. What an opening partnership down at Chelmsford, where Essex are 247 with their openers still together. Paul Walter, tall Paul, 144 not out. Dean Elgar, 93 not out. 247 without loss against Somerset.
I have to double check. There will be a number of batting bonus points that will get them safe, I think, Essex.
Bamber again. Knees and arms pumping. And, Patterson White again makes a decent enough contact, but out into the offside, and there's no run. 266 for 6. I beg your pardon, 286 for 6. Don't start taking runs off now, Dave. 286 for 6. Producer Kirsty admitting to feeling the tension. That's the polite way I can describe of what she's just sent the message. 286 for 6, and Kirsty's been here long enough as well to have seen some seasons that haven't gone quite as well as this. This one's round the wicket again, played up to mid-off, and there's been 4 dot balls in this over, 5 dot balls in this over, and he's made a beefy enough contact with all of them.
He's bowled at a better length than Gilchrist did. And you'd have to say Bamber has got his length right with the new ball straight away.
It's not straying anywhere near straight because the leg side field is all set out deep, but maybe they'll be happy for Patterson White to get a single. I don't know. They've both been scoring relatively freely. Next one is it's deflected onto the leg side, so we'll get a single. Good over from Ethan Bamber, but one more takes Notts to 287 for 6. They need 13 runs for a second batting point. I'm sure if you've been with us for any length of time, you'll know what that means. They do lead the Bears by 29 runs. There is still a game going on. Just elsewhere in Division 1, by the way, Worcestershire 194 for 4 at home against Sussex in their second innings. They still trail by 33. Yorkshire 226 for 4 at Headingley. They're playing Durham. Durham made 346, so Yorkshire are 140 or so behind at the moment. Nathan Gilchrist to bowl to Liam Patterson-White, who's managed, courtesy of the single from the final ball of the previous over, to be on strike. Gilchrist given another one despite going for 17 in his last over. Gilchrist bowls and Patterson-White plays it up to wideish mid-off, and there's no run.
Yeah, Gilchrist will be wanting to hit his straps a little bit better in this over than he did in the first that he bowled with the new ball. But the quality of the timing and the shot making of Patterson-White was exceptional. 17 runs came off the over in all, 4 boundaries, and that had Notts hurtling towards this big target for this match.
287 for 6. Gilchrist bowls. This one's hit back past him down the ground for 4. Lovely stroke by Patterson-White. Always sounds like he's got a really big, solid chunk of wood there in his hands. Almost a tree trunk. Really solid connection. Whiz back just to the onside of straight. Very close to clipping the stumps, by the way, but it didn't, and it goes for 4. And Notts a 9 away. 291 for 6. As we approach 5 o'clock, 8 minutes or so away. Gilchrist round the wicket to Patterson-White. Played a gem of an innings last week and doing the same here. Gets a single. Pushes it out to Ethan Bamber. Bamber just realised that he'd be throwing it straight into the sun, and his keeper wouldn't be able to see very well, so he hung on to it. 292 for 6, and now Verena back on strike on 49.
Well, he's got 3 balls left in this over, and there are 8 runs short of the target.
It'd be quite a narrative arc for the day, him being here at the start of play, saying he wanted to be there when the 300 came up.
It would be incredible.
He might go ... 1, so he's on strike in the next over. Here is Gilchrist to bowl to Verena. There's the dot, the first dot. 292 for 6.
He might go 4-4.
Well, he might. He might indeed. Notts need 8 runs to reach 300. T keeps telling me, stop saying we're going to get to 300. T, don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. That's Gilchrist. Umpire Goff still with the black armbands on, of course, for dear old Dickie, and that's glorious from Verena. Absolutely magnificent through the offside from Kyle Verena. Take a bow, young man. 7 4s, 1 6, 95 balls. That's a wonderful innings from Verena.
Yeah, it's funny, they just needed it as well, didn't they? When Hasib Hamid got out after an excellent 100, they needed somebody to steady the ship, and Verena did that. He played himself in and has got more expansive as he's earned the right, and then he's found such positive support in Patterson-White.
He's got 1 ball here. He's got 1 ball, and they are 4 runs short. Does he go for it? Does he take the single? It'd be something else if he was able to do this.
Final ball of the over. Notts 296 for 6. Verena will pull this one away, all the way for a huge 6. And Verena has done it. And Nottinghamshire are county champions for the first time in 15 years. Hasib Hamid and his troops have done it. A magnificent moment in the club's history. The club's history, because Hamid with his century today has achieved immortality. It's up on the board. They're going to take a drinks break. Trent Bridge has gone absolutely potty to celebrate the 2025 county champions, Nottinghamshire.
Well, he foreshadowed it, didn't he? Kyle Verena, he said he wanted to be here. He wanted to be out in the middle and hit those winning runs. What a year it's been for him. He hit the winning runs when Australia beat South Africa in the World Test Championship, and later this season he hits the winning runs for his county, for Nottinghamshire, as they take the title. What a remarkable story. He was up here telling us all about it, and I tell you what, he puts his money where his mouth is. He's walked the walk today after talking the talk, but what a wonderful moment. They're still on their feet here at Trent Bridge, and well, they might be too, because it has been a magnificent season for them. And I might say what a wonderful call that was, because you could hear the emotion in Dave Bracegirdle's voice. You can see it in his face too, as you see it there with everyone celebrating on the balcony.
The turnaround for this county at Nottinghamshire, from being down in Division 2, where, you know, test ground counties don't feel they should be with the quality of the squad that they've got, and to turn it around. There was a lot of talk about whether Peter Moores was the right person to carry on bringing them forward and you know, coaching the players. He's demonstrated that. Hamid has become an outstanding captain. And everybody has contributed this year. Dave has spoken about the number of different bowlers with 20 wickets plus. You know, it's finding different people to get a five for it. It's about finding different people who are going to make 100 under pressure. It's about the likes of Lyndon James and Liam Patterson-White becoming key performers in a county championship season. And that is the only way you can dethrone an outstanding champion for the last 3 years in Surrey. You know, their reign ends for now. They'll be determined to get it back next year. But Nottinghamshire have had to do an awful lot of things right to win this county championship this year, and it's a massive credit to everybody here. And Dave, enjoy it.
Wow. 16th of September 2010 at Old Trafford. In the gloom there. Magnificent moment when Shiv Chanderpaul was dismissed by Andre Adams. A catch at slip from Samit Patel to seal the title by the narrowest of margins. This year it'll be, you'd imagine, rather more. 50 partnership as well, somewhat belatedly after after all that. They've just announced that it's a 50 partnership. Tremendous moment in the club's history. And Peter Moores, the head coach, Hamid, the captain, and let's not forget the director of cricket, Mick Newell. I was just talking about 16th of September 2010. I never thought I'd see the day again. I know that perhaps sounds a little bit negative, but Mick has just kindly popped up to say hello. Many, many congratulations.
Oh, it's incredible, Dave, isn't it? I mean, you know, you've been with us a long time. Same as me, it's a fantastic feeling. It never gets any different. It's great stuff. Bamber round the wicket bowls to LPW. I know you're a busy man. I don't know what you've been doing all day. I don't know if you caught that little moment this morning when Carl Verena was here and said, I'll be out there and I'll get the runs.
Yep.
I watched him. I was watching the first hour and I saw the commentating in his sunglasses. So now I've copied him, haven't I? I didn't know he'd said that, but I mean, it's great. I'm really pleased for him because he's been with us this summer and did a great job at the end of last season. So it's great to have him here.
Next ball, oh, a little bit streaky. They all count. Just listen to the cheer for a streaky fall from Liam Patterson-White. 302 for 6. I'm well aware that we'll be just nudging into the BBC Radio Nottingham 5 o'clock news in a minute, Mick, but you know, what does it mean? When did you start to believe? I know you were at the Oval last week. That was dramatic. There's just so many things to talk about.
Yeah, I think these little run of 3 games after the MB50 had finished, we always knew that was key, because when we played those Kookaburra ball games through June and July, nothing really happened for us. We didn't win any, we didn't lose any. We just sort of held our position, tucked in behind Surrey, and we knew these last 3 games were absolutely crucial. We've been blessed with some good weather to allow us to get on the field and get the points we need.
Bamber round the wicket, and Patterson-White goes hard again through the offside. Fancy there's a bit of a showman in Liam Patterson-White, you know. The bigger the game, the more he steps up.
I think you're dead right. I think you're absolutely right. And I think last week we had a similar thing with Brett Hutton, who's another local lad who did it. And very rarely does Brett score any runs on flat pitches. But when we needed some run scoring last week, Brett turned up and scored, I think, 70 in the game across the 2 innings. So it's great to see Liam out there now. It's great to have Brett with us. And, yeah, look, anybody that comes ahead of Surrey has played some really good cricket, because they're really good. And for us to come ahead of them is a great tribute to our players.
Going to be asked to give the score from Trent Bridge in about 30 seconds time. No idea what I'm going to say. Next ball is an LBW shout, and Liam was looking straight towards the umpire. Maybe even expecting that to be given, but it's not. Here is that update for BBC Radio Nottingham. Yes, that's right. Nottinghamshire, for the first time in 15 years, third time this century, are the county champions. This game goes on. They're still playing Warwickshire. They're 310 for 6, leading by 52. But the big moment came 5 minutes ago. A big 6 from Kyle Verena, the South African wicket-keeper, secured the second batting point. Notts are county champions for 2025. Next ball's pushed to mid-off. And there's no run. Slotted that nicely in between two extraordinary news pieces that we won't dwell on the news.
Yeah, look, I think, as I said, these 3 games, going to Worcester, we nearly threw Worcester away. You were there. I think I came away on day 4, which was a good thing for me. But we could have thrown away a whole year's worth of work if we hadn't have won that match.
Patterson White on 37. Second really major contribution in a fortnight, gets a single down to Longway. You just mentioned the weather there, and yeah, you have to reflect. At Worcester, that was the only game, first or second division, that got a positive result on that last day. And last week at Surrey, I know it was all done on day 4, but nowhere else did you get a single ball bowled on day 1. So somebody's shining on you and your team.
Yeah, we've been lucky, haven't we? I mean, last week, I don't think we'd have bowled a ball if we'd played at Trent Bridge last week, from everything that happened at Leicester and Derby and Birmingham in those games that I saw. And going to Worcester in September is always dodgy because they haven't got any floodlights. You know the ground is susceptible to flooding, so to play it as long as we did, or as much cricket as we did there, and then this week almost you kind of think you want to play, but also you know if it rains a bit that might help you. As it is, we've had 2 beautiful days so far, and hopefully we can have maybe 2 more beautiful days and enjoy trying to win this game and trying to get as many points as we can.
Sometimes with your overseas, Mick, they've not quite worked out for one reason or another. Maybe maybe an injury, or maybe it just didn't happen. Yeah. You've got it spot on this year. They've been brilliant.
No, they've all been brilliant. I mean, I think Fergus O'Neill was a player we've been looking at for a couple of years, trying to get him over, trying to work out if we could have him for a short period of time, and he was great for 4 matches. And Mohammed Abbas, as you know, was meant to play here in 2020 when COVID struck and hasn't been able to join us for 5 years.
Michael Booth into the attack. Gilchrist, I think, has probably had enough for one day, and this is forced to wait for a boundary by Patterson White, who now romps into the 40s. He's on to 42. But I know, the listeners, whatever. I mean, you might want to say. I mean, there were 2 other overseas that were going to come this year.
Well, certainly Corbin Bosch was a player that we signed for 4 matches, and that never happened.
And there was another gentleman going to come for the 50 overs, wasn't there?
Who's that one?
Was it Kusal?
Kusal Mendes was going to come for 1 4-day game.
Yeah.
Didn't come. Ishan Kishan came for 2 games, as you remember. So we had a bit of Ishan when Kyle was unavailable.
Oh, this is wonderful from Patterson White at the moment, and away for 4 runs. I know we've got probably a 50-50 split on the live stream. Warwickshire supporters as well. Please just bear with us. We will get Richard back. We will have Mel talking about the Bears in a moment, but this is a Nottinghamshire moment. We've got Mick Neal with us.
So you're dead right. It doesn't always work out. We had Dane Patterson for a number of years. It was terrific, and we're really grateful for what Dane did for us. And other times, but I said to Peter Moores the other day, we should think back to last September when Notts played Warwickshire. Yeah, exactly the same game.
Booth in again to Patterson White, and he's drilled this to mid wicket. There's a good bit of fielding, otherwise he'd have brought up a quick fire half-century. What's he got? 46 from 41.
And we were both hanging by a thread, Warwickshire and us. And the fact we managed to stay up there, and Warwickshire stayed up, has allowed us to win the championship this year, because we could easily have gone down, and then you can't win the championship from Division 2. So people who put in big contributions last September, Jacob Duffy, who's now joined Worcester, Farhan Ahmed, who's not playing in this game.
Booth to Patterson White. He's on 46, and he's got hold of this one, but there is protection out on the Fox Road side of the ground. 320 for 6.
So you have to, I'm looking 12 months ago to see the start of this, if you like, because that saved us in Division 1. We know how important 4-day cricket is to a club like Notts, as it is to a club like Warwickshire, because it's how you're judged as a county, is which 4-day division you're in. So to stay up last year has allowed us to win it this year, as Warwickshire I think will come probably 3rd or 4th, depending on what happens here. And that's, for them, that's going to be a good season as well. I think top 4 is your aim as a test match ground if you're in Division 1, and I think that Warwickshire obviously team looking to rebuild as well.
Michael Booth to Verena, And Verena's gone big again, and the fielder on the square leg fence just turned immediately and started looking way over the ropes, and that's another big 6 from Verena, another showman who's really enjoying himself. Knott's 326 for 6, and of course we should remember as well there is a game on here, and Knott's inching further and further away from the Bears. They're 68 in front.
But the shackles are off, aren't they?
Yeah.
Passing that 300. I mean, Patterson White got them there with some real vim and vigour before Verena finished off that particular milestone. But now I think they're just having fun.
Yes, I think you're right. I think the new ball coming along, sometimes it's a threat, but in this instance we've sort of taken the attack back to Warwickshire, and we've managed to score those runs much more quickly than we were scoring against the old ball.
There's Michael Booth to bowl to Verena, and again he'll pull it away down to long leg for a single. Since 2010, I must have had 5,000 people come up to me and say, I was there at Old Trafford on that day, Dave, but you and I were there, and we know there was very few people in the ground late on when Notts won it. What does it mean to win it here at Trent Bridge for the first time since 87?
Well, it's incredible to win it at home. I think it's great to win it. But Canterbury in 05. And then Old Trafford in 2010. It's lovely to win it here. I mean, there's a lot of people here. I don't know what the crowd is, but there's a lot of people coming. I'm sure a lot of people will come over the weekend and enjoy, and then maybe go to Forest on Saturday night. Now they can relax and knowing that we've won it. So it means a lot. It means a lot to win it at Trent Bridge, and it's still the competition that the players and the coaching staff want to win the most. So we will enjoy it and know that we've had to work really hard. As I say, over for me a period of 12 months to get here.
I guess for you as Director of Cricket, the work starts now to defend it. You want to get the signatures on the contracts. You want to get your overseas confirmed.
Yeah.
The young talent. We had 3 of them presented with their caps yesterday. Their futures are all secured. Yeah. So everything looks rosy in the garden at the moment.
Yeah. Look, I think one of my jobs is to make sure that we hand over in the future with a stable team.
Bamber bowls, and an LBW shout here against Verena, and Ethan Bamber can't believe it. Not seen a replay, we're not in line, and Ethan Bamber, who's a lovely fella, just acknowledges the crowd who are giving him a bit of stick for the appeal. Looked a little close.
It did. Well, he's given no LBWs at all, has he? I can't think. He gave Haynes out, caught behind. But I can't think of too many LBWs he's given.
You've had a good look at that, have you, or had a chat to him? Or?
Not really, no. I mean, look, I think the umpires, in the most part in this country, are brilliant, and the odd mistake is always going to happen.
327 for 6. Bamber in again to Verena, pushes this up to mid-off. Nice moment at the tea interval. I was on air, couldn't go down, but Chief Exec has...
Yeah, I mean that's where I was when we hit the winning runs, with having a bit of a staff do on the top floor of this Radcliffe Road stand, and the players are going to come and have a drink after play. So, yeah, that was a stroke of luck that Lisa's last day, or one of her last days at work, has coincided with this, and it's a lovely thing for her to go out with the team playing so well.
She was at Old Trafford, of course, in 2010. This one goes through to the wicket keeper. 327 for 6. The one thing that did happen back then, 15 years ago, he won the title on the last day, so they all went out and hit Manchester and had a good time, and Ryan Sidebottom bought a few drinks. That can't happen.
No.
Or shouldn't happen, I guess.
Well, to be fair, after 6:30 tonight, Dave, I'm not in charge of them, but I think they want to win this game. I think they want to go out in style. I think the players will enjoy each other's company, and we have a soft drink, even if it's one beer upstairs, and because they want to win the match, I think, over the next 2 days.
Verena on 66 on strike pushes this into the offside, and of course back in 2010 there were all sorts of goodies that came with it, the champion county match and the trip to Abu Dhabi, which I guess we'd all like to see reintroduced.
Well, we would now, and a visit to Buckingham Palace, which we did as well, which I don't think happens anymore. So yeah, look, I'm not aware of, it's been a long time, as you said, so I'm not quite aware, but we will enjoy whatever comes our way, and I'm sure there'll be a trophy presentation on Saturday afternoon, which will be a lovely moment for everybody here.
Next ball on its way, and this is defended. That was something I was going to ask. Are you aware it will be the end of the game, whenever the end of the game is, or the end of the match is, there will be?
That's what I suspect. I don't know, Dave, if I'm honest. I think, I'm not one of those people that likes to think until we've done it. Now we've done it, we'll pick up all the emails probably that are waiting for us to say, this will happen and that'll happen. I think it's got to wait for the end of the match, just in case our over rate lets us down, or somebody throws a bat or a ball at somebody. So I think we'll be waiting for the end of the match.
Varane, just an inside edge onto his pad, didn't quite carry to Alex Davis, and I'm sure you're a busy man, want to head off, but yeah. I'm sure you'd like to pay tribute to not just the 11 out there and the coaching staff, but there's so many people here that have played a part of this and will enjoy it as much as you and I.
This is the thing about last time in 2010, people coming up to you in the street and saying well done, and people who you didn't know followed the game. So my neighbour said to me last night, oh, you'll be nervous for the next 4 days, and it's kind of like you don't realise until you've done something like this how it impacts on people. But you're right, within the ground itself, the ground staff, the catering staff, the operations teams that put everything on for us, that feed us, that prepare our pitches, that mend our bats, that do all sorts of work. And the coaching staff is a big group of people now who work so hard, and they are supported by operations people and science and medicine people and everything. So it's a huge achievement, and Pete's put a great team together, and we have a great team off the field as well.
Booth bowls to LPW and pushes back to the bowler, and all along all you needed to know was knock down the pavilion, move the players to this side, and you win the county championship.
Well, I remember when Pete won it at Manchester, they didn't play at Old Trafford, did they? They played at Liverpool all year. So it's kind of maybe there's something in that, something different happens, something comes along, and we've changed in Radcliffe Road all year. We've had it really well looked after. The guys have done a great job setting it all up. So I think there'll be some reluctance at the point next year at which we move back across there, but we will have a great facility.
Next ball in and played up to mid-on. So that's a point to end on then. When do you think that will be done? I guess it depends how severe the weather is through the winter, does it?
I think a little bit. I mean, we have a test match here. I think it's on the 26th or 27th of June. The plan is that will be usable for that test match. So that's England versus New Zealand men. So it may well be that through April, May and early June, any Notts cricket, Blaze cricket, we stay this end. But the plan is to certainly be using that pavilion for that test match. 47,
and it's gone to pull that away and misses it. Mick, we'll let you go.
Thanks.
Many thanks for popping up. Many congratulations. Give our love and congratulations to everybody that's played a part. And no doubt we'll catch up at the end of the match somewhere. Mick Neal, Nottinghamshire Director of Cricket, able to celebrate a very, very successful season, and joining us here on 5 Sports Extra, Trent Bridge Live, and on the BBC Sport website and app. Lovely to get some instant reaction from a key member of the Nottinghamshire County Cricket Club hierarchy. 327 for 6. Patterson White 47. This pair have added 79, and Notts lead by 69. Still in theory an hour's cricket to go today. 16 overs. Booth in his 16th over, 1 for 63. Ground bathed in sunlight. Oh, that's a good ball. A little bit of nip and movement away from the left-handed Patterson White. Goes through to the wicket-keeper, Alex Davis, who's taken 4 catches today. Mel Farrell back alongside. Sorry you guys are getting shuttled about here, there and everywhere today.
You've got nothing to apologise for at all, Dave Bracegirdle.
Nice to share the moment with friends as Booth bowls, and this is pushed up to mid-on. 327 for 6 at the end of the over. Patterson White 47. Verena 66. Seems like I've talked non-stop for half an hour, Mel. Do you want to have an over?
Absolutely. As I said before when Mick Newell was on, it just feels like there's been a really big pressure valve released. Even though you knew that they were going to get there, you felt it anyway, that it was very, very likely, but just to have that done and dusted. And what I thought was really interesting was from Carl Verena, the 50 which he got in the previous ball was very mutedly celebrated by him, but when he hit that 6 he knew it straight away. He had to get on with it because Liam Patterson White was threatening to get the runs himself. Bamber it is, over the wicket. And Verena gets right behind that one, defends it back to the bowler.
You've got a little sequence that you've got to keep up now. The last twice you've been to this ground this week, you've seen a title won. You were here for the Worcestershire win at the weekend, and now here today.
Yeah, it's all happening at Trent Bridge. I've been lucky enough to be up here for both of those moments, knowing what it means to those individual clubs as well. As Bamber is in, bowls, and that's short and whipped away, but straight out to the fielder at deep cover. That's Mosley out there, and they'll get 1 run.
Because Bamber slipped over in his follow-through, I thought he'd been hit straight back towards him, and he'd flung himself to the ground to try and stop the ball, but he hadn't. His, a little bit Mark Wood-like. He'd lost his momentum, hadn't he, and toppled over.
328 for 6 now. And I guess you look at it in terms of the match now, 70 runs ahead of Warwickshire's first innings total. And now that first and most important job of securing the championship is underway. Notts will be looking to set themselves up for victory here. Warwickshire will have something to say about that, though, as Bamber is around the wicket. And Liam Patterson-White squeezes that one down to deep third. And they'll take a single to finish off. No, it's not finishing off the over because there's still 3 balls remaining. I don't know why I'd got ahead of myself there. Lots of fans coming in this late afternoon September sunshine. What a way to finish the season for the locals here, watching their team secure the championship, still with plenty of entertainment to come as well. Verena taps his bat, in comes Bamber over the wicket, and Verena just lets that one go past to Alec Davids, the keeper. 71 the lead now. It was just building and building to that, wasn't it? And the tension never really went away, even though you knew it was coming. It was still there. You could certainly hear that emotion and see that emotion in you as well, Dave. You deserve to celebrate it as much as anyone. As Bamber in, that is drilled straight down the ground. Bamber tried to stop it, but there was no stopping that. It rocketed off the bat of Verena. Another 4 to him, takes him to 71, and Notts to 333 for 6.
Lovely stroke. Triple Nelson, is that? Is that I don't care about unlucky omens today, to be perfectly honest. Normally I do. Normally to be feet up on Nelson's or multiple, but crikey, 333 for 6. Notts lead by 75. This new ball hasn't quite gone as well for Warwickshire as it did yesterday.
Next ball from Bamber is spanked straight to wide mid-off. No run, but it's been a productive over again. 333 for 6. Patterson-White is on 48 off just 49 balls, mind. Verena 71. He's done a fantastic job today. Really took his time getting into his innings, was really patient at the start, but then has shown great control even when wickets were falling around him. Just the confidence that he's had, as you expect from an international player.
He's just looked absolutely rock solid, in truth, hasn't he, Verena, since he went out there. We sort of had that little insight as to maybe his mindset. I don't know if he's always like that or what, but he's gone out there and we've sort of been counting the runs down along with him, as I'm sure he has, but he desperately wanted to do that, didn't he?
Well, and there was also the confidence that comes. And I joked about the manifestation, but he wanted to be in that position where the responsibility was on his shoulders.
Start of a new over from Bamber, and Patterson-White's in the mood, pulls this away, and there's his 50. And that's been a very, very good innings from Liam Patterson-White. He's just helped Verena out at the other end, really. He's taken a little bit of the pressure off him. He's accelerated the scoring rate since the second new ball, and he's come to a runner ball half-century, 10 fours in the 50. That's a great knock. He's only been at the crease for an hour, Liam Patterson-White, and he's certainly a player that's blossoming and blooming with every innings. Michael Booth to his 17th over, in again, and this time plays it more defensively up to mid-off.
It was that over when Gilchrist was bowling from this Radcliffe Road end when he hit 3 boundaries in a row, and all of a sudden everything just seemed to move very quickly from that moment. But you're right, he did take the pressure off Verena as well.
It's been brutal on anything short, hasn't he? Absolutely. Cutting and pulling.
As I say, his bat really does sound like it's a really heavy club, doesn't it? Next ball pushes it back to the bowler. There's a different sound off his bat, isn't there? Seems to be. Very kind of McNeil to pop up and just share his thoughts. McNeil was in charge as the head coach back in 2010, director of cricket now, but obviously a big moment for him. And of course he was part of the championship winning side in the 80s under Clive Rice, 2 occasions. Booth bowls and steered into the offside for a single. Arthur Jones, Arthur Cart, Clive Rice, Stephen Fleming, Chris Reed, and now Hasib Hamid, the 7 winning county championship skippers for Nottinghamshire.
There is something about that, isn't there, about being a county championship winning captain. It's something special. It's something that you'll carry with you for the rest of your career. And I think of in more recent times for Warwickshire, Will Rhodes, Jim Troughton, Nick Knight, Dermot Reeve. It's a badge of honour, to say the least.
Booth bowls. Oh, nice push by Verena, and it's through the offside. Just wondered if it was going to be cut off, but of course it wasn't. Everything that Verena does at the moment is turning to gold, and Nottinghamshire already have skipped their way up to 342 for 6, and that's a lead of 84. This is, as a match, it's just, you feel, just getting away from Warwickshire a little bit. They need to break this stand sooner rather than later.
Well, it's very much getting away from them. They've gone very ragged, with the exception of Ethan Bamber, I have to say, who's bowled very well actually with this new ball, but the rest of it's gone very ragged.
Last ball of the 17th, bowls now, and again it's Verena trying to play the big shot. He's only hit it to mid-on, and that's the end of the over, 342 for 6. It's 22 minutes past 5. I'm not sure what time, should have had a look, what time the winning moment came. I'd say about 5 to 5 would it have been?
It was probably just after 5 to 5, yeah. So there are various places you can search on X where you might see some video of Mr. Bracegirdle calling the winning runs, because I managed to get a flattering angle, and it is about if you search sort of BBC Radio Nottingham, or if you search Nottinghamshire County Cricket Club's X feed, I think you'll be able to find it. Let's put it that way. As Ed Barnard's going to come back into the attack. Dave's gone for a comfort break, I think, with all the excitement. I think he's got to him. Wow. He needs a moment, Mel.
He deserves that. One. I can tell you at home, and you may well see it on the video, but even after the video, you can really see emotion. I think there was a little tear in his eye.
He was beaming, but his eyes were reddening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Means an awful lot to Dave, as it will do to everyone who's associated with this club.
If you get the very, very good fortune in life to be able to commentate on a team that you are passionate about, Ed Barnard comes in battle around the wicket to Patterson White, well down the leg side. It's stopped, not cleanly, but stopped by Alex Davies, who then shoves Rob Yates out the way, and they have a bit of a play fight. But if you do, and I'm lucky enough, I'm a huge fan of Warwickshire. I was a member when I was 11 years of age at Edgbaston. It just gives you that extra little bit of a tingle, to say the least. And county championship titles don't happen often. I mean, they do if you're Surrey in recent years, but they don't happen often. Barnard bowls back of a length, dabbed into the offside by Patterson White, and there's no run as it's picked up in the covers. Warwickshire just need to get a little bit more of a grip now, with probably just under an hour's cricket left today.
And I'm sure Surrey fans won't agree, but I can't help think it's a good thing for the county championship to actually shake it up a little bit, have a new winner coming in. I'll be back strong next year.
Undoubtedly. Barnard back of a length, defended into the offside by Patterson White, and I said it earlier. It's not an anti-Surrey sentiment. It's healthier for the game, and it's because they set the bar really high and it's up to somebody to lower their colours, and that takes a huge amount of consistency and quality over 14 games. It's bowling teams out twice, it's putting runs on the board, it's chasing down targets, and it's everybody contributing. And all of those things have to fall in place if you're going to beat Surrey to a title, as the ball's defended into, well, straight back down the wicket by Patterson White, and there's no run.
And I think it's also fitting that they did beat Surrey as well. And the only time that they meet this year, they were away, they're at the Oval, and Notts did beat Surrey. So it kind of all feels like it is fitting that they have proven themselves to be the best team of this season.
On a surface that Surrey have prepared the way they liked it, and they were able to insert Notts as they do. So this is guided down towards short third. There won't be a run there as Booth is able to move across to do the fielding. So all of those things, to go out there and beat them. But I think they bowled so well in the Surrey first innings, didn't they? That's what really set them up. It's really outstanding season for this county.
I feel pleased for Peter Moores as well. We're absolutely delighted.
Clipped off his pads by Patterson White to deep square for a single. Moseley fields 343 for 6. Rather tidier over that, just the single coming from it. Still 13 overs left in the day. The Bears will want to take another bowling point yet. They've got 19 overs to do that, so the 110 finishes at some point tomorrow. Notts will be quite keen to still be batting tomorrow, but Taz Ali's going to be given an opportunity here, and for the leg spinner with a reasonably hard ball, this is going to be an interesting opportunity. He'll get a little bit more bounce, but also I suspect that these two will want to really attack him. 6 overs for 32 so far, so this is going to be a challenge for Taz Ali, and another moment on his learning curve as a young cricketer.
Yeah, he's had a lot of them, hasn't he, in the last couple of years, Taz Ali. He's still just 18 years of age, and it's hard to remember that. You have to remind yourself of that when you see Taz Ali. Well, actually, he's 19 now, I should say. 19 years of age, just a teenager. I see him and Farhan Ahmed on the other side, on the Notts side, not playing in this match, but these two spinners, what might they do in the future? Teammates in the under-19s England side, of course. Now both getting their chance to prove they belong with the big boys.
Is the crowd slightly thinned out in there? I think it probably has in the last half hour.
They've probably gone to the bar to celebrate. That's what it is. Is there a bar in the fridge? Would that be a...
With pubs on two corners of the ground, both of them are going to do some good business this evening.
Here's Taz Ali, first ball, darted in, and it's just pushed out to point by Patterson White, because that would be a bar fridge, wouldn't it?
Bar fridge in the William Perry stand. I'm going to see if that catches on. I've given it 2 mentions now. I want to see if it works. It's not going to, but I've got to try.
Taz Ali over the wicket, and Patterson White leans back and slaps this one into extra cover. There's a good stop on the boundary, but they'll get a couple of runs.
Ed Barnard did very well to get there, but when he picked it up, he sort of stumbled and did a face plant. He's okay.
He's usually very elegant, but it wasn't the most elegant bit of fielding, but it did the job. 345 for 6 now.
After about 130 overs in the field at Chelmsford, he fielded one like that on the boundary as well. It was all he could do to get back up on that occasion, but this time he was a bit more nimble. Especially as he's within a bowling spell, he needs to be running in again in a moment.
Change of angle for Taz Ali around the wicket now to Patterson White, who flays this one. Well, that's gone over wide mid-off for a boundary. Went aerial, and he really is enjoying himself out there now. It brings up the 100 partnership for Patterson White and Carl Verena. It has been an outstanding partnership. It's a partnership that's taken them over the line in the 2025 County Championship Division 1.
And it's put them absolutely in the box seats in this game now as well, because the lead is 91 with 4 wickets remaining. Warwickshire are going to have to bat really well in the second innings to get back into this.
They certainly are. You can see they're enjoying this now, this pair. A partnership it's been. It's Patterson White on strike now as Taz Ali comes around the wicket again and down on one knee, the big slog sweep. That's gone for 6. That's gone absolutely miles. They might need to find a new ball. I don't know if they can find that one. Heavens above. That is enormous. Brings up the 350 for Notts. It's milestone after milestone. Oh, what a shot that was. Down on one knee. Powerful stroke.
Who's at short leg, Rich?
Bizan Malik.
He said something to Liam, and Liam went across and he's just pointed to the sweet spot on his bat. They were both having a look at it.
Well, they've brought out the box of balls, so indeed that one's gone. I think I can see a gate opening sort of underneath the scoreboard. I think they've gone out there to see if they can see it, but the umpires, meanwhile, are inspecting the box of balls.
It's like Sobers, isn't it?
In
68, that's gone all the way to Swansea.
Well, that one's certainly gone along.
Crikey, mate.
I tell you what. So we've just had some bubbles brought into us. Everyone's celebrating.
Thanks to Postcode Pam and the team on reception.
Unfortunately, there's only 2, so someone has to miss out.
Well,
sorry, Richard.
I'll go teetotal for today.
No, she just said she's gone to fetch another one for you, sir.
Oh, that's
cheers, everybody.
Cheers to you, Dave. Cheers to Notts.
They have found the ball that Patterson White has planted in the stands. It's no longer fit for purpose.
I bet it's not.
That's been replaced. They may have to protect Taz Ali after this over, because the form these two are in and the mood that they're in, it's going to be very, very difficult to calm them down.
And Patterson White has now moved on to 66 off 63 balls. He's going to catch up to Verena on 75. That was a mighty blow. Oof. Did that go and go and go? And now moving, that run rate's now 3.87. So Taz Ali now, he bowls again to Patterson White, who leans back and flays that one through the covers. There's protection in the deep this time. They'll just get the one run. But one more ball remaining for Taz Ali. Tough over for him, tough. But like he said, this is all part of his education, right? He's a very, very talented teenager. He's going to go a long way.
Did he say it's Philip on that camera down there? I don't think he's photographed any cricket. It's all been either crowd shots or the various members of the Nottinghamshire team on the balcony.
In come Taz Ali. That's a full delivery. Up in the block hole. Good delivery as well from Taz, who's taken a bit of tap in that over. At the end of which, it's 356 for 6. Patterson White on 67. Verena on 75, I should say. 12 overs remaining. And yes, that is the great Philip Brown. Like me, dual citizen from Australia, but makes his home over here. One of the great photographers. You might have seen the photos he took of the 2005 Ashes team. He travelled all over the country taking portraits of every player, and they just had a reunion down at Lord's on Sunday as well, and he was down there with them taking a few more pics.
Oh, that's incredibly kind. Thank you.
Oh,
I know a bit
hang
of
on.
bubbly.
I haven't had any of mine. Just checking. There's pink bubbles and there's yellow bubbles.
Thank you, Pam.
Thank you, Pam.
Cheers, Dave.
Pam and
cheers
Jackie
to Notts.
Do you like yellow or pink?
I don't mind what I've got. It's got bubbles.
Here's Barnard round the wicket, bowling to Liam Patterson White, who drills this up to mid-off, and there's no run. Nottinghamshire 356 for 6. Yes, we had McNeil here, who's thanking a lot of people on the ground. Mustn't forget Pam and Jackie on the Radcliffe Road reception downstairs, always smiley, happy faces greeting us in the morning, generally look after us, and nice Very nice of them to just share the moment, popping up to bring a little bit of light refreshment up into the commentary box. 3:57 for 6. I think there was some bat involved there. There was. Paterson Wide on to 68, this partnership, up to 109, and that's lead by 99. In the 93rd over.
Both eyeing up hundreds now. It's, the fact they've done this partnership at a run and ball, slightly better than a run and ball now. Exceptional.
Still almost 12 overs to go in the day. Only day 2 of 4, remember. Don't think there's no cricket tomorrow because the meaningful stuff is done as this is turned to mid-wicket by Verena. Partially stopped, they'll get a single. There is still a game, so if you're, in inverted commas, working from home tomorrow in the Nottinghamshire region, or Nottingham region, come on down. There will still be I'm sure, a very good day's cricket to enjoy. Day 4 Saturday, of course. Every chance that we'll go into Saturday. Last day of the cricket season. Be a shame not to, as Paterson White chips this to mid-on and there's no run. Be nice to go all the way, wouldn't it, and have some cricket on the last day of the season. It's not usual it happens on a Saturday. Generally the sort of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday finishers have been the last few years. 3:58 for 6.
Great day's cricket.
Barnard in his 17th over bowls and he's caught Liam Paterson wide in 2. There's an appeal from Alex Davis who had to tumble away to his right to catch it. Did really well. I think he was too good for Liam on that occasion.
Well, I think that's seen back a little bit into him, and I think it's clipped the top of his pad on the way through. I think that's the contact that Alex Davis has heard, because Ed Barnard was not convinced at the bowler's end. It's a good delivery.
Can I just say, hundreds of messages coming in. Thanks everybody. Next ball is striking him on the pad outside. Well, it's not struck him on the pad, judging by the way he's gasping to get some air into his lungs. And it's the end of the over. 3:58 for 6. Yeah, an awful lot of messages have come in from a lot of lovely people. A lot of kind things being said to Nottinghamshire and to my colleagues here. Thank you everybody. In the fullness of time I'll try and drop you a message, but there's just so many come all at once. Tremendous day for Nottinghamshire cricket, and obviously everybody taking to social media to share it. Just enjoy the moment, folks. 3:58 for 6. Got 11 overs left in the day.
Like I've said a few times, these moments don't come around very often. You know, it's 15 years since you last had the opportunity to, and for the moment to be a 6, the ball being launched for 6, by a man who promised us he wanted to be the man who got them over the line earlier in the day on commentary. Taz Ali is going to continue. He's driven by Vereen off the inside half of the bat. Zain Malik, who, much I think to his own relief, is no longer at short leg. He's able to move around from mid-wicket to do the fielding, and there's no run. They've got to just dig deep here, Warwickshire, to not let this get entirely out of hand in the last 11 overs of play. He tosses this up, driven back to the bowler, fielding his follow-through. He's gone for 2 boundaries, including a massive 6 in his last over. Taz Ali just loosening his arms as he goes back to his mark. Young man, very slim. Comes into bowl again, and that's a watchful defensive shot by Verena.
Oh.
La Bomba is back.
Yes, about this time yesterday that we discovered he's not a Marinero, he's a Capitano. That's good.
My individual homage to Ethan.
So this is floated up, driven by Verena, and this time he beats the infield, but will only get a single. Has Booth put a jumper on? Comes across to do the fielding there, because he is one of the 2 floppy hatters. So I think he has put his jumper on now. It gets a little bit cooler in the evening. So, Dave and Mel are very professional, and having been handed a glass of bubbly, neither of them are sipping it. I just admire you. I haven't got the willpower. as you well know.
I know, just had a sip.
This one forced off the back foot by Patterson White out towards the cover boundary fielder. There'll be a single. That's it. The shadowy area next to the hover cover, 360 for 6. There's a calm sort of contentment around the ground at the moment. This is short and it's 6. He's dragged that down and Verena says, well, OK, I'll have that. And he puts it not far away from where he planted the 6 that won the title.
Calm contentment, I hear you say, Richard Wilford. Have some of that.
Yeah, 83 for Verena, 366 for 6. It was the crowd. They're not applauding every run in the same way now because the main job of the day has been performed. Yes. And it certainly rattled forward, didn't it, after the second new ball was taken.
Shouldn't forget Hamid in all this, of course. He made 122 on a day when his side really needed the captain to step forward. Magnificent knock, but certainly since he fell, Joe Clark made 52 as well. But Verena and Liam Patterson-White are just really having a little bit of fun out there. Yeah. Century partnership brought up.
They don't look like getting out either, do they, at the moment? Warwickshire need to just fix their minds on what's happening here, but as these two have just really thrown off the weight of that championship chase, it's become very difficult. There's a first ball from Barnard. It's just clipped along the ground to mid-wicket, no run.
Shadows lengthening now, but I think the light will hold for these 9 overs and 5 balls, probably.
Yeah, well, there aren't any real clouds around now for the sun to dip behind. Really blue skies. Sun shining on Trent Bridge in more ways than one. As Barnard is in, next ball. It's just thudded out to the covers. No run for Patterson White there. It must be remembered when these two came together, it wasn't certain. It looked likely, but it wasn't certain. There was that little dangerous period where you thought, oh, might Kyle Verena get stranded out here? A few wickets falling. As Barnard is in around the wicket, and this is clipped off the hip by Patterson White into mid-wicket, where Mosley picks up and throws a ball at the non-striker's end. But I think Kyle Verena was well and truly safe. And Warwickshire have to remember they're still playing for something as well. They could finish as high as third in possibly in this championship, although I don't know how with the various bonus points that's going. As Barnard bowls, that's clipped off the pads behind square leg, and Taz Ali's out there on the rope. He'll keep it to a single.
They will have to bat very well if they're going to drag their way back into this game, though, aren't they? They're going to have to pretty much match what Notts are scoring, or get pretty close to it in their second innings. And that's going to be a challenge.
Sun is just dipping behind something as Barnard is in over the wicket to Verena, and he's actually managed to get a little feather as it goes past his bat. So there is something for Warwickshire to celebrate as Kyle Verena departs on 83. But what an innings it has been from the South African and now the proud Notts wicketkeeper. 83 of 119 balls. It's been a marvellous innings for him. He's hit the winning runs. He's making a habit of it in big games. And you can hear by that applause, and I can tell you they're on their feet at the moment. They appreciate what Kyle Verena has done for them. He's annoyed. I think he really wanted the century, but he just got a little bit of a feather. Almost tried to take his bat out of the way.
Here's the replay, Mel.
Here we go once more, Barnard. So short ball. He did try, almost swayed out of the way, but as it might have even just got a touch of his glove as it's gone through. But that is something for Warwickshire to celebrate. It's now 367 for 7. It's going to be Brett Hutton coming out to replace Carl Verena. And there's applause for him. They'll clap anything, this crowd. You used to say about tough crowds that they'd boo Santa Claus. I think this crowd had clapped Satan, the way they are at the moment. They'll clap anything.
If he was playing for Notts, yeah. But I mean, look, credit to Ed Barnard there. The 2 wickets he's taken today, and it isn't necessarily his way of doing things, but he's just got the ball in a little bit shorter, a bit of lift, and Verena was trying to leave that, and just deflects off the bat. Alex Davis, 5 catches in the innings now, and you know, 9-10 Jack are interesting here, and they are genuine tail enders to an extent. I don't think Brett Hunt at this stage in his career is necessarily as good with the bat as he might have been. 17.7 a career average, but there is a little window of opportunity. By the same token, Liam Patterson-White will have the freedom to continue to churn out runs with the speed he has. 70 off 74. It's been the innings that has not just helped carry Notts over the line, but has put them in pole position with this lead of 109 there.
Yeah, Brett 40 not out and 30 not out last week. That's the exception rather than the rule.
Here's Barnard over the wicket, bowls, and that's stoutly defended by Hutton first up. It's into cover point. And that will finish the over, so some reward for Barnard. His second wicket. He has figures of 2 for 58. Notts 367 for 7. Patterson-White still out there on 70, and Hutton yet to score.
Yeah, by that obviously I mean, it doesn't happen every week. That's why he comes in at number 9, and those runs last week are absolutely worth their weight in gold. But don't be surprised if he doesn't follow it up with another score of that sort of magnitude this week. But as Richard just said, it's all about Liam Patterson-White at the moment, 70 not out, and all Brett's got to do really is just stick around with him, and I'm sure Liam will, if the occasion presents himself, he'll throw the bat, as we've already seen. It's a man for a big occasion. Definitely, as I was saying to Mick Neal, he's a fella that likes to be the showman, or certainly is coming across as that in these big matches. 70 not out from 74 balls. Field on the leg side, where's that gone? Disappearing.
There's a couple slightly behind the Fox Lane stand after. But, I mean, Nathan Gilchrist is coming back on there, so we'll see how he goes. He's taken his off stump. And Patterson-White goes for 70, and that's a good comeback from Gilchrist after the carnage that he suffered in his previous spell. But what a tremendous innings from Liam Patterson-White. He will always have the memory of being there with Carl Verena when Notts won the title in 2025, and he will get a massive hand as he makes his way back towards the temporary dressing room, the good luck of the temporary dressing room this year at the Radcliffe Road end of the ground. But 367 for 8, what a tremendous knock from Liam Patterson-White.
He's got his helmet, a little bit like Ben Duckett sometimes does when he's out, perched on the back of his head, and he's applauding, or rather he's acknowledging the applause, which is obviously coming from all around the ground, and it's very clear that he enjoyed that. Lovely bit of bowling from Nathan Gilchrist around the wicket, brings it in, and a little loose from Liam in truth, but he's played that way, and he's survived that way for the last hour, playing some magnificent shots. But this one just nipped back inside the line and demolished off stump. And there's Dill, another one that was awarded his county cap yesterday. There were 3 of them: Dylan Pennington, Jack Haynes and Liam Patterson-White. Lovely moment for them, a lovely week for them all. And he comes in at number 10 with just Mo Abbas to come, and still 8.5 overs rather left in the day.
In terms of the specifics of this game, I mean, Warwickshire, in terms of trying to win this match, will rue a mad 45 minutes with the second new ball.
Yeah.
In that things got out of hand very, very quickly during that spell, due to the fantastic striking of Verena and Patterson-White. And it's kind of Liam who set it off. He really triggered the acceleration that very quickly saw Notts over the line to 300, and it took them another 30-40 runs, the Bears, to start getting a grip back on the game.
Got two senior umpires here, Richard, and I wonder if it was them that said we're going to have a, let's have a proper drinks break. They've been out there, seen a lot of things in their careers, and obviously appreciated that the right thing to do was to pause the game when that 300 came up.
Did you need one?
Yeah.
I felt you might.
Yeah.
I think that was a
Needed a
great
pause.
decision. It really was, because it was just a sense of the wider moment, wasn't it? And it was lovely to see the moment for not just the players in the middle and on the balcony, but for the fans as well. And it is about entertainment at the end of the day.
Gilchrist then to bowl to Pennington, who stands up on his toes to guide it down towards point, and there's no run.
Pennington 0, 1 ball faced. Hutton 0, 1 ball faced. Things should get a little calmer out in the middle, you'd imagine.
Fewer sixes, you would think, potentially. But
We could see Warwickshire out there batting again for a few overs.
Pennington awaits Gilchrist, who beats the outside edge of the bat. 3 slits now back in place. Gilchrist 2 for 75. He's bowled a lot of good spells today, and then the second new ball went rather haywire for him. But
it has just been those couple of periods, because Warwickshire, they had good moments with the bat, and then they kind of had that period as well when they just lost that bunch of wickets yesterday, and that didn't help. And today, the same thing.
Gilchrist full, driven, gets a good hand on that, saves 4, because he deflects it straight towards mid-off. And there's no run. That was a good effort from a tall man towards the end of a long day.
Finished at Chelmsford for the day. Somerset were bowled out in their first innings for 4-3-3. Essex 295 for 2 in reply.
So they collapsed.
Yeah, well, a bit, yeah.
Well, they were at 260 without loss, last I saw.
Surrey 220 for 6 in their second innings at Southampton.
Gilchrist to Pennington shows the full face of the bat, defends it up towards mid-off.
And you talk about moment. I am glad that the moment happened here, and that it didn't happen, and it was announced on the
Chinese
tannoy,
whispers,
or that something had happened somewhere else. I think it's a nice moment for everybody in this ground. Knew exactly what the equation was and what needed to happen. The significance of Carver-Aina's 6.
Gilchrist again gets past the outside edge of Pennington. The light has faded considerably, and given that the sky is almost cloudless, we may be close to floodlight time. What I would say is that Warwickshire wouldn't be terribly chuffed if we went off for bad light.
No, I don't think so.
They were not happy about it, and I think they had a point. I mean, I think we all feel they had a point last night. The last couple of wickets went down in light they probably shouldn't have been playing in. And I'm not saying that would have put a lot of runs on the board the following day, but it might have put some, especially as Dan Mosley was one of the batters involved at the time.
Yeah, he was,
he was well placed. Yeah, last out for 74.
Who was the bowler when Verena hit the 300th run? Was it Booth? Yeah, I'm like that. I was just trying to think.
I don't know.
I'll go back and check.
We'll find out.
We may have to rewatch the video.
Yeah, we'll watch. Start of a new over. It's Ed Barnard, who seems to have bowled all day, but this is just his 19th over, but it's still a good old shift.
It was Gilchrist.
It was Gilchrist, thank you.
Yeah, he went 4 and 6, last 2 balls of the over.
As you predicted, one of you said.
I think that was me. Was it? Or was it you?
Oh, no, I said
everybody.
I said, with 2 balls left, I said he'll go 4-4. I was wrong. I was wrong.
367 for 8. Next delivery sees Brett Hutton push it up to wide-ish mid-off. No run. Breaks are on this Nottinghamshire innings at the moment. They're some way adrift of the extra batting point for 400. We're in the 97th over.
And I might have to leave you shortly, gents, because I might have to get myself sorted for a little bit of writing for my other job with the cricketer.
Totally understandable.
Lots to do today.
I've got a little 6 o'clock to do as well.
Bowled him. The off bail has gone off here from Ed Barnard, and he's bowled Brett Hutton. So not so 367 for 9. And, Brett's got no cause to be unhappy about being out for naught after what he did last week. And of course what he did yesterday with the ball. He's had a great season. He'll be Nottinghamshire's leading wicket taker unless somebody gets 8 or 9 in the second innings. Terrific stuff from Brett Hutton. But he's been bowled here, and the Bears just hanging in on this game. They've got their 9th wicket, their 3rd bowling point, and there's only Mo Abbas to come. And there is the possibility that we might have a little bit of Yates and Davis late on.
I tell you what, I think that they would be really frustrated too, Warwickshire, if they did have to come out and
in the gloom.
In the gloom with the new ball.
And if they were to lose a wicket.
Yeah.
That said, right now there isn't any signs of gloom. It's perfectly playable, isn't it?
It was, yeah. Well, you look at that, but the shadows are now getting quite awkward, and sometimes they do take that into account. In the mixture of shadows and sunlight, are a little bit fidgety at the moment. It's just, you can see now the shadow is almost coming across the far end of the surface.
I think it's still fine at the moment. It just, well, how many overs have we got to go? Remaining today, 7.3. Be interesting to see what it's like in another 4 overs' time.
Mo Abbas looking round there. I don't think he's ever been applauded walking to the wicket before with his name announced. He started looking round as if, why are they all clapping? But they've come along to enjoy the moment, enjoy the occasion, and my word, they're doing that. 367 for 9. Ed Barnard has figures of 3 for 58. Nathan Gilchrist 2 for 75, the 2 bowlers operating at the moment, and Alex Davis 5 catches in the innings. 367 for 9, a century for Hamid, 83 from Verena, 70 from Patterson White, 52 from Joe Clark.
It's just been an all-round effort, hasn't it? Fine effort from the bowlers as well yesterday.
There's Barnard then, halfway through the over, bowls to Mo Abbas, and he'll deflect this down to long leg for a single. Let's just remind myself of Mo with the bat this year, because, mind if I do that, it'll talk him out, but he's got a phenomenal number of not outs. Here we go then. 4 not out, 0 not out, 0, 4 not out, 6 not out, 0 not out, 0 not out, 0 not out, 2 not out, 0.
Well,
he's got 1. Brings Pennington back onto strike. 2 balls left in this over. Barnard and the Bears looking to wrap things up. 368 for 9. The lead is 110 for Notts. And Dylan Pennington will cut this away to deep backward point, and there's a nice bit of fielding by Taz Ali out on the fence, and they'll come back for 2. So Pennington's underway.
that was a nice shot too.
Yeah. Steered it away to deep backward point. 370 for 9. Nottinghamshire lead Warwickshire by 112. They began their second innings at the start of play today. 370 for 9, but 7 overs left in the day. Delighted to say we've been joined by Kevin Howells.
The great man.
Yeah, sorry, I've not really been paying much attention.
There's a full pitch delivery that Pennington can't get away. End of the over, 370 for 9. Welcome.
Have I missed much today, Dave?
No, not
Oh,
much.
thank
You
goodness
missed
for
the
that.
bubbles.
I can see I've missed it. Three glasses were brought up, and once again, who misses out?
Well, you snooze, you lose.
I wasn't snoozing. I was extremely busy, if you don't mind.
There's some of your favourite confectionery on the
You've
back,
looked
if that
after
will
it,
do.
as always. Even in the darkest of days, and there have been dark days here at Trent Bridge since 2010. From time, he's always kept the smiles going by bringing the Haribo.
He does, doesn't
and
he?
he's a top lad, and I'm delighted for him. Wasn't that a brilliant call of the winning runs as well? He's done well as the boy today.
I've no idea.
He's done well as the boy.
Like I just said, I couldn't even remember who bowled the ball, but it was Nathan Gilchrist.
Okay.
And I'm led to believe that the studio have found it's Gilchrist, Mel.
Yeah, Gilchrist is in over the wicket, and he pushes it one outside the off stump. Hamid Abbas.
I've had a message that the BBC Radio Nottingham studio, Adam Hassels, trawled through the Verena interview this morning and has managed to find the clip where he said, I want to be out there and score the 300th run, to run with the commentary of him getting the 300th run. So,
Fantastic.
Good work, everybody.
No, that was a great moment. In comes Gilchrist, and that is clipped away through backward square leg. That's a fine shot from Mo Abbas. He wants to get in on the fun too. It's gone for 4.
Where's your focus now then on this round of matches? Leeds?
No. Today, for the remaining whatever we've got, and I know what you're saying, but this is a serious answer to your question. The focus is just here. Just here. It doesn't need to be anywhere else right now, to be honest.
There's Nathan Gilchrist. We've got the Radio Nottingham news in our ears. And he's caught and he's out. So knots are all out. 374 for 9. The final wicket taken by Gilchrist. Mo Abbas is out for 5. And Nottinghamshire lead by 116. And you join us just as Nottinghamshire are all out. Yes, that great moment came around about an hour ago when they reached 300. They've really galloped on. 374 all out. So Warwickshire will have to bat for a second time in the match. They've got 4 overs left this evening. A century from Hamid and some really powerful runs from Verena, from Clark and Patterson White, all passing 50. Notts lead by 116 on first innings. We've got 4 overs left in the day.
And are you going to tell everybody? Actually, they probably would have heard in the headphones there. The poor old Dave doing a report whilst he was hearing for the first time his own commentary of Nottinghamshire. And you know, I think there was a speck in his eye. Man.
Oh, there was.
Definitely.
I watched it.
Let's talk as if he's not here.
Yeah, let's do it. He did. He had. I could see him blinking.
Yeah, I could.
A bit of watery redness to the eyes.
Oh, yeah.
And well deserved as well. Why shouldn't he?
When I saw Mick Newell, when I rang Mick Newell, just about 5 o'clock after the thing, I said, would you please get yourself up there with the Girdler, as we call him? I said, it's a very big moment. Many congratulations to you. I said, but do not cry. I said, the two of you together, did they cry? I don't think they.
No, but look at it. Just there's a little flush to his little cheeks there.
When's this blazer going on?
Yeah.
Well, it's been on and off and on and off. Aaron had it out on the pitch this morning. Took it
Dave.
for a walk out there to the middle. Yes, Kevin. And just I should just say that's not the first time that you've walked in just as the last wicket has gone.
Yeah. Well, I sort of came in because I thought there might be 10 minutes needed filling with a bit of rubbish, and here I am.
You're always good for filling with rubbish.
With a bit of. But this, hey, you be steady on that. I'm worried about all those stairs to go down. Dave.
Yes.
I just did a quick little thing there at 5:30, and the things that are crossing my mind. So 2010.
Yep.
The 15 years in between, roller coaster doesn't touch the sides, does it? Of the journey to get here now, that 15-year journey.
Stayed in Division 1 until 2016. Really poor year in 2016. It was Mick Newell's last year as head coach. Finished bottom of Division 1. They were relegated down to Division 2. Peter Moores had been here as consultant in 2016, and they made the change that winter. Mick became director of cricket, i.e. not necessarily hands-on every day, more responsibility for the entire Trent Bridge cricket product, if you like, the women's side, the second 11, the academy and whatever. And obviously Peter Moores, with his vast experience as a county championship winner, of course. We've not really mentioned that. This is his 4th title, Peter Moores, and he was the first one, I think, to win it with 2 different counties. Now he's won it with 3 different counties, but he took over in 2017. They got promoted straight away. Then went on a little bit of a poor run, 18 and 19, and then of course we got into COVID. In fact, 19, they've again finished at the bottom of the table, should have been relegated, but COVID 2020 and 2021, the regional thing, they didn't have Divisions 1 and Division 2, and then 2022 they decided, well, we'll set up 2 divisions again, but we'll go on the finishing positions in 2019. So Notts found themselves back in the 2nd division. They won it in 2022, and the last couple of years they've just sort of been down towards the bottom of the table, just flirting with the nether regions.
When you say things didn't go well, what was that sequence that ended with that amazing catch over at Derby?
Yeah, 2012, 20-something matches without a win.
Crazy.
2 years.
Yeah. But you're right too, and I made mention of Peter at the 5:30 minute. So it's Sussex, a couple back around the early 2000s.
2003, 2006
Yeah.
with Sussex. Peter Moores won the title. 2011 with Lancashire.
So it was a year later, and of course he was at Old Trafford when Notts lifted back in 2010.
That's right,
as well. They've signed him up for another couple of years to be here. There were other counties who wanted to talk to Peter, wanted him to go. You can understand why that might be. Hasib Hamid, what a journey for him as well. England, there when he's playing with Lancashire, it was all going then badly wrong for him. His contribution speaks for itself, I guess, with his 4th championship century this season. He's in this race with Sibley for who's going to end up with the highest runs in Division 1. His contribution, Dave?
Magnificent. I think he's come as a captain as much as anything. Obviously, his runs is his currency. You know, that's what he's there for, to get runs predominantly at the top of the order. With his century today, he's scored more runs this season than any other season in his career. As you say, he's up there. I think he's just behind Sibley. I'll do the sums tonight for leading run scorer in the country. But whether he come first, second, or 15th, you've had a good year with the bat. He's had a terrific year. But it's his leadership. I think last year it wasn't necessarily a failure, but nor was it a raging success. It was just some indifferent performances, and you know, a few matches they perhaps could have won ended in draws. A few matches they could have drawn, they were defeated. The only 2 matches they won were against the 2 relegated sides who performed poorly, Lancashire here and Kent down at Canterbury. So they were the 2 wins they got were comfortable, and you know, you'd have to say that wasn't necessarily down to the skipper, but this year definitely a definite coming of age, coming of captain. It's always a telling moment when you can look out on the field at any point in time and recognise and know who the captain of a side is, who the leader is, who's the one making decisions out there. And this year, I think more than last, it's been obvious, and I think he's been getting better and better and better. And I thought last week he was superb. The most high-profile match of, I think, all these players' careers outside Test cricket last week at the Oval against Surrey, a real top versus second battle, and I think he was superb. He was calm, he made sensible decisions, he made decisions I didn't necessarily agree with at the time, but were proved to be right. No surprise there. I'd have had Liam Patterson-White on earlier. He left him off. I wouldn't have brought Josh Tong back as quickly as he did. He did. Everything he did last week turned to gold, and I think he's a tremendous ambassador for himself, his family, for the Muslim community. I don't know. I would just say off the top of my head, I would imagine he's the first Muslim county champion winning skipper. That will mean a lot to him. It will mean a lot to his community and his faith, I'm sure. But above all else, he's a great teammate to those boys down there, just assembling in a huddle. They all respect him. They follow him. They've really bought into everything that him and Peter Moores as a duo have tried to bring about this season. And I just couldn't be more in awe of his ability as a batsman, first and foremost, the runs he's scored this year, as a fella and as a captain. And they've just established a great relationship, him and Peter. And if anybody was going to beat Surrey, I'm just glad it's Notts this year, and I'm glad it's those 2 at the helm. Let's
remember they've prevented Surrey from lifting the trophy for a 4th successive year. That in itself is quite the story. Kevin Shine, because Peter Moores is often quoted as being the coach that people want to come and play for, because the word is that you'll learn so much from Peter. But look at the bowlers that have chosen to come here as well as the locally produced ones.
And not necessarily those that want to come here, as you know. I've always had a very good relationship with Luke Fletcher. That's the applause. Champions making their way out onto the field for the last 4 overs today. We'll focus on that in a moment. As you know, I've always had a good relationship with Luke Fletcher, and he'd been a county bowler for 12-13 years. Kevin Shine came in whenever it was, 20 20, and Fletch said to me, I don't know if I can work with this fella, Dave. He wants me to change this, he wants me to change that, and every day going in I'm scratching. The best bowling coach I've worked with. He's remodelled my career. He's made me the bowler what I am today, and he's not the only one to experience that. There's lots of guys. They've spoken openly about Kevin Shine and what he's done to them. He didn't get a Test cap last year, Dylan Pennington, but he was called into the Test side, and I interviewed him. And just about the first thing he said was, a lot to thank Kevin Shine for.
Wow, what a day! What a day. Terrific way. It was interesting hearing you do that commentary. You've not heard your own commentary, but what a way to get there with that 6. What a mighty blow for Verena.
And him saying it this morning as well. That's incredible.
Okay.
Top of the news on BBC Radio Nottingham.
Rightly so. We'll be going through some scores to wrap up what's been going on elsewhere, as you made mention. But okay, we've got 4 overs here now. I guess Notts will be saying all the right things. I know that previously, when championships have been wrapped up, it's not always been easy for the champion county to fulfil their commitments with quite the zest that they have. But they've only lost 1 game in getting to this point. I imagine, my guess is that they're going to work really hard to wrap it all up with a win, especially because they're at home as well. I don't know what you think.
I suspect that. I suspect Peter Moore's, Paul Franks, Kevin Shine, Ant Boter, the head coach, and his trusty lieutenants will have fired them up in the last 10 minutes, and certainly tomorrow morning they'll be here, and they'll have to have the business heads on. There's Mo Abbas then going to get us underway. First ball to the left-handed Rob Yates, outside the off stump, goes through to Verena. We've got clear blue skies overhead, but we are getting to that time of day where light may be an issue, so the floodlights are on. And classy Alex Davis, I don't know if you saw it there, Alex Davis, the non-striker, has just taken his glove off and walked to Asiba Mead at mid-on and shook his hand.
I'm sure they would have, I'm pretty certain they would have shared some Lancashire time together as well, wouldn't they?
Yeah, you'd imagine, yeah.
Lovely moment, Dave,
yeah. Abbas. Umpire Goff's at the far end now, of course, they've changed ends. First ball strikes him on the pad, asking umpire Goff, and it's given! Mo Abbas strikes early on, and Rob Yates goes to the second ball of the innings. And Nottinghamshire's day, just when you think it can't get any better, they've got the Bears 1 down with an early LPW shout there. Umpire Goff had a long look at it, didn't think he was going to give it, and then slowly, the fate of Rob Yates was determined. Bowling round the wicket there, and it's one of those where we haven't got all the technology to know where it was going on or where it hit him, whether it was outside the line, whether it was in line, but umpire Goff had a long old look and raised the finger.
Reaction from Davis at the non-striker's end, the slow walk off from Yates. They didn't like it.
No, there's been 1 or 2 in this match, as there is in every match, every single match. So, well, he might have got a, but
a little inside edge on this.
Now, who've we got here? Are we in night watchman territory? We'll see who the Bears send out at number 3. They're 0 for 1. They're 116 behind, and it is Ethan Bamber, who of course got a first baller in the first innings. Mo Abbas mopped him up, so he's on a king pair.
He is. Big moments here at Trent Bridge, and what a wonderful venue as well. Obviously it's not home, but it's a venue fitting of seeing a county become champion county in front of the home supporters. It was lovely to hear your commentary. It was lovely to be down just on the ground itself as I was when the winning runs were hit, and just keeping an eye on the balcony, Dave.
You've had a wander down, have you?
Yeah, there was a lot of hugging going on, Dave.
I can imagine.
A lot of hugging, yeah, and Peter Moore was obviously very central to it all. Terrific scenes for supporters and players just around 5 o'clock today.
So Bamber on a king pair. Mo Abbas to bowl to the right-hander, and he shoulders arms. It wasn't too far away. Abbas with hands on the back of his head, as if to exaggerate the fact that it's very close to clipping off a bail. And the Bears are 0 for 1. They had to bat in the late evening gloom last night. They're doing the same again here, and won't want to lose any more wickets.
And they weren't happy about it last night in bowling in these conditions. Perhaps that's why they're a little bit miffed about losing the wicket. Of course, there was a time, sort of early afternoon, where we thought maybe the 300 wouldn't be part of it. It would be possibly a Surrey defeat. They were struggling there. Score in a moment.
Abbas in again to Bamber. This one's a little wider, so he can leave it alone comfortably.
But they've recovered. They were 29 for 2 at one point, having conceded a first innings deficit of 101 to Hampshire, but they've closed at 225 for 6. That's a lead of 124 runs. That game is still very much live because of Hampshire's position as well towards the bottom of the table. But they've only got 4 wickets standing in their second innings, Surrey. 225 for 6, lead Hampshire by 124 runs. 2 days to go, of course.
5th ball of this opening over of the Warwickshire second innings. Bamber comes out of his crease, long way down there, and then just has a little bit of a grope outside the off stump. Doesn't make contact as it goes once again into the gloves of Verena. He's had a lovely old day, really. Spent the first hour of it with us, but from then on it's got better.
There's only one way. Durham look to be in an awful lot of bother. They're second from bottom in the table. Yorkshire, they're playing in Leeds, who themselves not out of trouble. Yorkshire 313 for 5, trailed by 33 runs at Leeds. They're still playing there.
Abbas to conclude this opening over, and runs for Ethan Bamber. There may well be 4 of them. There will. He's turned this through mid-wicket. Highly effective shot from Bamber, who's quite a decent little player, actually. I was very impressed watching him score the winning runs in the second 11 championship this year in the height of summer. We got on the live stream there Aaron wandering around in the coat of many colours onto the boundary.
Many colours. There are only 2 colours.
Green and gold.
What are those colours, David?
Green and gold, my friend.
Agarwal scored 175 for Yorkshire there at Leeds. Important runs. An important player brought in towards the end by Yorkshire. Perhaps that might mean they stay up in Division 1. Essex 295 for 2, trailed by 138 runs against Somerset. I know they were very worried overnight. They're probably a little less worried now. So the applause for Brett Hutton, local man. It's sort of not our party, Richard, but it's a nice party to be at, isn't it?
It is. I mean, I feel less like a gate crasher today because it's been enjoyable watching the quality of the cricket that Notts have played to secure it.
Davis faces his first ball and Hutton bowls it, and it's a little short, and it's a lovely time shot actually from Davis. I'm not too sure he's going to have the legs to go all the way to the boundary, so he'll just jog back and make it 2, which will take Warwickshire to 6 for 1. Just a little mention of the situation there at Chelmsford, because Dean Elgar he's still there, 111 not out, but it was Paul Walter that really got them off to a great start in that innings. He scored 158 in the end. He's now out. Brett Hutton bowls down the leg side, taken by the keeper. The 3 slips in at the moment.
At the start of the season, the notion of Paul Walter being a full-time opening bat seemed a little far-fetched, and he's made, I think, at least 3 centuries. Done pretty well, and Elgar a couple of centuries in September when they've needed them. Essex. So, is there a number of batting bonus points that get Essex formally over the line this week? There must be. We'll have to do that calculation overnight.
If you don't mind, I might leave it till the morning even. Next ball, Hutton bowls, not too far past the off stump, taken low down.
Or actually, not taken low down.
He's missed it.
He missed it, and they've only run the 1 by.
Was that Verena?
Yeah.
What on earth is he playing at?
Well, if he comes back in tomorrow, we'll have to berate him for that.
Worcestershire 270 for 6. They lead Sussex by 43 runs. That's a situation obviously Sussex will feel in a very strong position. They, like Essex, were 10 points above the drop at the start of this round of matches. And we'll go through the Division 2 scores. Of course, still a very big week for Leicestershire and also for Glamorgan. Glamorgan, their promotion, but for Leicestershire, they haven't yet lifted that Division 2 trophy, of course. 86 for 2 away to Northamptonshire, and they lead by a small matter of 326 runs. Hutton, meantime, in now, bowls into the pads. Surely that's not out. Those going down, and Umpire Saggers agrees. Far be it from me to have made that call from where I am, but it didn't look right.
It would have been quite a quirky shot for Ethan Bamber to have played to a straight ball. Let's put it that way. He was trying to flick it off his pads, and his pads were outside leg stump.
Glamorgan, so doing the Leicestershire, Glamorgan 41 for 2 second innings, trail Lancashire by 68 runs. Derbyshire eventually declared at 698 for 6, Kent 117 for 2 in reply. Still first innings at Canterbury, Hutton bowls and defended. Nars Bamber comes forward. The Middlesex score 634 for 9 declared, Gloucestershire 146 for 3 in reply.
That must have been 2 very late wickets that Kent lost, because I think they had a century opening stand going there. So that was persistence late into the day from Derbyshire.
Ben Dawkins has caught the eye this year. He's still on 53. Michael Cohen, that'll be a night watch. Being the second wicket to have fallen. As Hutton comes in and bowls and past the off stump. And I keep my eye on it this time. He gets hold of the ball. I don't take my off it on this day. Ben Compton was out for 46, but Dawkins is still there. 53 not out in that game at Canterbury. Okay, so here it's Warwickshire 7 for 1 with 2 overs if the light still holds before the completion of play. I wonder what the celebrations are going to be tonight.
It's a difficult
by the
one.
looks of this commentary box, you've drunk them out of their drink anyway.
It's a difficult one mid-game, isn't it? But I would be astonished if there wasn't. I think there's a chance they may have a diet soft beverage or 3.
Yeah.
And rightly so. It is hard yards to win a county championship title.
Yeah.
You do not achieve that lightly.
And Hassie Mead, of course, will certainly be keeping a clear head.
It's
Exactly.
important to rehydrate after sport, as we all know.
Thank you, Dave. Rich.
Mohamed Abbas comes in to bowl to Alex Davis, who leaves the ball alone outside off stump. And I think, again, I mentioned it briefly earlier, but massive celebration, I think, for the British Asian community as well, to see a relatively young man leading a side to the county championship and having really displayed his ability as a leader as well, and making great tactical decisions. We've seen it again in this game. We certainly saw it last week at the Oval, making bowling changes at the right time, taking a punt on Liam Patterson wide against Tom Curran and getting immediate reward. These things only come because you think about them and you try them, and with all the work he's done to get his career back on path, as Davis covers up off stump, we can discuss how much damage was done by being in the England team as young as he was, and whether how much that set him back. But right now you've got not only a leader, but a guy who's gone well over 1,000 runs this season, 4 centuries, and has led from the front with the bat.
I don't know, but I imagine that's the way that he does lead on the field with his performance. But you mentioned great tactical nous and changes as well, but I can't imagine he shouts a great deal at them. I might be wrong.
The leave outside off stump. Nars, because that did just swing back a bit as it passed the stumps. And Verena had to move onto his left boot to gather it to his left.
I mean, if you do look at the scorecard tomorrow, we're due to start at 10:30, but if you see on the card start delayed, it may be that Notts are still trying to find some of their players. And when they can find 11...
But leadership isn't about being brusque and loud. I think of some of the leaders that have won county championships with Warwickshire, someone like Nick Knight.
I think they respect him. That's
hardly a force of nature, Nick, is he? There's an appeal for LBW here. It sounded like there might have been 2 contacts. There weren't, and Alex Davis is given out. He stays on his front foot. And again, I don't think he's thrilled with that decision. He didn't think he got a good one in the first innings. And now he goes in the second for 2. Mohamed Abbas with 2 wickets. Warwickshire 7 for 2.
Carries on like this, the thought has to be about tomorrow being the day that trophy will be lifted, which, if you don't mind me saying, I think would be ideal, to be honest with you. To do it tomorrow, Saturday, you've got a bit of Forest playing. Mind you, you get everybody turning up. That game's not till evening time, is it? But
no.
You think that was going to go down?
So it's hit him outside the line of off stump.
Oh, okay. Umpire
Kevin,
gave it a long... Yeah, go on.
I'm only saying what I'm seeing on the replay. It's hit him outside the line of off stump.
They weren't happy with the first one, and they're not happy with the second. Hand on the hips from Bamber as well, because here they're losing wickets at the same time, and they weren't happy playing last night.
Yeah.
It was obviously tail end.
And the conditions aren't as bad as they were last night, and equally it was 15, well, just under 10 minutes later than this. But it's one more overdue after this. Will Young coming in now because they've already got Ethan Bamber in as a night watchman. So difficult situation this for the Bears, and they've got to get a decent score in the second innings if they're going to be competitive in this match. But we have a replay that is straight in front of us, and that is a really tough decision that he's received.
Yeah, I agree with you. I do agree with you. I mean, we're talking about, how can Nottinghamshire keep this going now they've won the title? Actually, it probably is more difficult for Warwickshire to keep it going, maybe, in this situation. Yeah, I think it's that 45 minutes. That 45 minutes with the second new ball, when Notts accelerated away, won the title, carried on to about 3:35, 3:40 before the Bears got back. They lost the match. If ignoring everything else that has been going on here this week, they lost the match in that 45 minutes in terms of their performance on the field. Mm-hmm. Okay.
But Alex Davis feels he's been sawn off twice. I actually thought he was out yesterday, but that's really unlucky. And now there's 8 more balls to survive for these two.
Congratulated Brett Hutton on being the leading wicket taker this season. The Bass is moving within range. Remarkable stuff from him. And he came in after Fergus O'Neill played the first 4 matches.
So passes in again and goes past the outside edge of Will Young's bat. I mean, these are great conditions for him with the floodlights on and a new ball and a tired opponent, and he's just so in rhythm. He's such a comfortable bowler on his approach. Great wrist position, and he just tests you again and again. He doesn't test you for pace, but every other part of your skill set is going to be needed.
Do we know if he's here next year, Dave? Abbas?
There's all sorts of talk going on that nobody will confirm or deny. Next ball into the pads, end of the over 7 for 2. There's all sorts of talk that Derbyshire have made a substantial offer to secure his services. There's talk that Nottinghamshire want Fergus O'Neill back if he can come for the full year.
The start of the season, terrific stuff. That's where the belief would have begun. I mean, you talk about Peter Moore's and the media day, press day, and leading into the season, where you got an impression that Peter was pretty confident that this year would be better. Whether he thought it was going to be championship, but pretty much better. But that O'Neill signing, and to bring him in, to get him in, where did he come from?
Yeah, McNeil talked about it when he was in here. Somebody had been trailing for a year or two.
One over left. Finish off the day, Dave. Big day for you and Notts.
Thank you very much to Kevin Howells as Brett Hutton bowls, and edge to slip, and another one, and that'll be the end of the day's play, with Bamber the night watchman edging Brett Hutton's first ball of the over into the hands of Freddie McCann, and Warwickshire are 7 for 3, and that will go down as a very, very dismal little session for Warwickshire for all sorts of reasons. Play will end with the Bears still 109 behind, and Nottinghamshire have had the day of all days. They have secured the county championship. They've secured a first innings lead of 116. They've reduced Warwickshire to 7 for 3 at the close in just 19 deliveries, 3.1 overs, 7 for 3. And there's every possibility that day 3 tomorrow may well be the day to be here, folks. If you want to see any cricket over the next 2 days, Nottinghamshire will believe that they've got a little bit of a roll going on here, and the quickest way they can celebrate the county championship title is to wrap up this win. What a day for Nottinghamshire. What an ovation I think they're going to get as they leave the fields. The light is gloomy. The Bears again will feel that maybe, just maybe, the light should have added them off earlier. The ground staff have come on, and interesting that Mo Abbas, I don't know if they were congratulating Mo Abbas or Mo Abbas was thanking them, shaking their hands and everything, which is again a nice touch. And Hamid is leading Notts off. The snappers are down there getting a nice picture. Hamid waving to everybody. A happy Boltonian is Hasib Hamid. Not so much in the Warwickshire camp. Carl Verena then has to go off second. And what a moment, what a day for all of those Nottinghamshire players and all those supporters and spectators. And there's plenty of chat going on as they applaud, and those that will leave the ground. Nottinghamshire 2025 county champions, but ending the season in a little bit of a high, still with 2 days to go. They lead Warwickshire by 109.
And just to mention the Warwickshire perspective, because obviously the day is not about them, they will feel a little bit hard done by in these last 2 evening sessions in terms of the conditions they've had to bat in, which has made it very different. I think it was all too predictable when they came out with 4 overs to go that they were going to end in an absolute pickle. And so it's proven with 3 wickets down. They're going to have to bat very well tomorrow, maybe try a counter-attack tomorrow to see if they can get anything out of this game. But, you know, the story is about Notts, and they are, of course, Dave, very worthy champions for 2025.
Thank you very much, Richard. You've said some lovely words today. Great to share the moment with you and Mel Farrell. For listeners on 5 Sports Extra, you've just heard from him. He's popped back next door and he's ready to bring you up to speed with everything that's happening up and down the country in the Rothesay County Championship. Back to my good chum, Kevin Howells. And for those of you following on Trent Bridge Live and on the BBC Sport website and app, again, many thanks to your for your company today and for all your contributions. I will try and get in touch with as many as we can. We'll read them out tomorrow, but sincere thanks to everybody. We bid you all a very good night from Trent Bridge with the news that Nottinghamshire are the 2025 Division 1 Rothesay County Champions. Go and enjoy it.